The Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Matt Murray.
Hello.
Sean Bell.
Hello.
James Fartley.
Hello.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
We'd like to start the show by thanking our Patreon producers for this month. And my word, have we got a crew for you. This little club is growing, people. And the Full Nels crew, my word, they are, there's a lot of them. So strap in. It's Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap. Of course it is. Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights for Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, Richard Sawyer, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas, Tom S, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Tri-State, Jack Oven, Jonathan Edwards, No Longer a Freeloader, Grey Dragon Claw, Ramalaptar, Angry Baboo. Wait, has they changed that again? Has that happened again?
Is it Babu now?
Is it just Baboo?
I haven't checked.
Okay. Colin, it's not been this bad since Don Whiskerando.
3 weeks in a row, Angry Baboon's been mugged off. I do apologise, Angry Baboon. But
Colin the Car Wanker Smith and a new Full Nels member. Everyone put your hands together. Do the secret salute to Sean Richens, a new Full Nels member. Welcome. Welcome. You can support us by going to patreon.com/TCGS. We're hoping to get our shit in order and sort out and not leave it to the last minute every month now. So we're recording a bonus show this week, I believe.
Yeah.
Hopefully no one's panicked when we said we were going to do it Wednesday. So I think that will be happening this week. You should get that very soon. And then our Talksover/gaming stream. Matt and I talked about it on Saturday, and we will tell you what we're doing later, I suppose, James and Sean. But
thanks. That's
cool.
cool.
In line. That's it for patreon.com/TCGS if you'd like to support the show. Honestly, it keeps us going. It helps us get away with doing what we're doing. And remember, if you don't sign up, we'll fucking stop. We will stop. Feedback, Matt, from last week's show. They'll love it, I assume.
yes, we've had a message from someone who I've been quite looking forward to hearing from. It's Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Does David get angry when I put new films in my library but charge the same price for it? Calm down, mate. This is obviously in relation to the Nintendo Music debate. There's some more here, so we'll carry on.
I got feelings. Netflix, you should do less watching, more listening. Yeah? Listen to the argument. That's not the problem that I had. It wasn't that it was being added to the thing. It's that... look, we'll get to this. Right, go on.
Yeah.
Let's
I
go.
mean, they could also stop putting it up by £1 like every couple of weeks. That would be
Exactly.
helpful.
When did they charge the same price for it ever?
Good point, actually.
Stop putting it up by £1 and reducing the bit rate at the same time.
I love you, Sean. You're the only one that I've heard complain about the bit rate.
Have you not noticed? It's
I haven't subscribed to Netflix.
No,
ages.
it's not great.
Yeah.
I want one streaming service. So we've got Disney, and we use Disney all the time. But Netflix, absolutely not. We stopped watching that stuff ages ago.
Fuck Knuckle has messaged.
Okay.
That Nintendo Music chat was one edgy boomer opinion shouted over 3 over boomer opinions. Stick to the games and bounce, lads.
What's an over boomer, Matt?
Yeah, that was weird.
What?
3 other boomers.
Oh, 3 other boomers. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, it'd be a long
What
week.
do you mean?
This one threw
what?
me. Yeah, I don't.
Why did it throw you?
Well, I just genuinely just want to know what the criteria is for boomer opinions.
Oh, I
don't
think
understand.
it's
How have we all got
Yeah,
boomer
good point.
opinions when
We
we
were
had
both
opposite
arguing.
opinions? Yeah.
Different angles to the same boomer.
And why am I an edgy boomer? Why does that?
Dunno.
What? I thought I was being not edgy.
You thought we had a
You're an
different
old
take.
school hippie. You're like, should all be free, man.
Yeah, I was old school hippie boomer
Well, that is boomer, isn't it? It's,
without
Yeah,
the
true,
syphilis. All right, go on.
Can-
James, don't shake your head and shrug. They all had it. They were fucking everywhere. Of course they had it.
Right, we'll move on, shall we?
move on, yeah.
Gosh,
Canthony...
that's my mum and dad you're talking about.
I didn't mean to offend your people, James.
What do you mean, my people?
Well, come
I'm
on.
nowhere
You were
near a
about the
boomer.
swinging 60s, weren't you?
No, fuck off.
It's so easy.
Canthony Thantomano has messaged. Dave saying you're not listening to
It's
video.
Cammy pretending to be the
Yeah,
needle
yeah,
drop guy.
I got-
yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, it
Dave.
didn't sound like you got it, Matt. It
Well,
didn't
as soon as I
sound
hear
like you
Cam,
got
I
it.
assume it's Cammy. Like, there's just the rest is just surplus
Okay.
requirements. Dave saying you're not listening to video game soundtracks because it's good music. On a podcast co-hosted by a man who bought a turntable specifically to listen to the soundtrack from a video game is wild. Never mind the fact. It's wild on its own. Never mind the fact. Well, no, there's a typo.
No, there is a typo in there. He said it's wild on its own.
Yeah. Never mind the fact.
on
It's
its
just a
own.
completely mad thing to say.
No, again, what? For starters, I didn't. That's not me saying that video game music is not good music. I'm saying the primary reason you get into that music is because you enjoy the game and the soundtrack is part of that experience.
But you did say it had less value though than regular music.
I would say, as an individual piece, yes, I would say it has less value than something that's been curated in an album and 100%.
Oh, no, I
yeah, I would
disagree
say
with
that.
I totally
No,
disagree with that.
I would say when I say value, I don't mean to the person listening to it. Anyone can appreciate anything more than anything else. But what I'm saying is that when you're selling a product, in terms of music, you are selling that music, and when you're like, oh, fucking hell, I cannot believe I'm going through this again. It's such a shit argument, and it was a mild dislike to a business decision
Mild?
that Nintendo made, right?
And you were wrong about anyway.
What do you mean wrong? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought
That they would take
they were
everything
banning
down.
music everywhere else.
Yeah, they
I
have.
didn't know this was in addition because all the memes and all the videos that I saw of it was like people laughing at stuff being taken down. So I was like, oh right, is it being taken down?
Almost like you shouldn't believe the memes, isn't it?
Yeah, should have done my own research. I've learnt my lesson there, haven't I? I've learnt my lesson.
Yeah, okay, one
People
more
in the
message
chat say
about this.
Dave wants music to be free. It's so far from the truth.
That's only what it sounded like.
It is kind of what he's...
No, he wants a specific subset of music to be free, not
Yeah,
not all
because it's-
music.
Because he believes it's his, because it's from a computer game. That's not how it works. Right, Ryan Zhao. Just another point on the... Is that how you pronounce the surname, James?
Ryan Zhao, yeah.
Zhao. I'm not saying. Ryan Zhao. Just one point on the Nintendo Music streaming app. It raises a small concern about the direction of the entire music industry. The video game music scene has thrived over the years on the backs of remixes and covers, and building transformative remixes or metering out performance cues for covers is only possible with MP3s. Streaming in bespoke apps gives rights holders maximum control over what happens to their IP, but it restricts the ways that audiences can access it and what they can do with it. It feels like a declaration that this is a song and it's all we intend for it ever to be, do not touch. I'd rather live in a world in which creativity and transformation were encouraged, not restricted. By the way, my unique talent is that I can see into the future. My proof, you don't ask listeners what the unique talents are until episode 439.
I mean,
Well, we'll see,
I'll tell you
won't
what
we?
Ryan could do. He could always play their stuff, and then using a tape cassette, he could record it.
I was when I read, I feel like I must be missing something here because surely anyone who makes music knows how to sample things, which includes off any streaming service. So I'm not sure I follow the point.
Ryan's in the mud there.
Sorry, Ryan.
Feel bad for Ryan. Really feel bad for Ryan.
Just get a Memorex tape, out, and then
Oh,
You
yeah.
just play it.
Stop it just before the radio host introduced the top 40. Yeah. Saka White Rice. Hey guys, Arsenal want to be Aussie here with the shithole the UK has become. After much discussion in the last episode about Nintendo's music platform, I was left quite frustrated as to why the others were failing to see Dave's perspective. As someone who has a Switch, but is very far from a Nintendo fan, I can safely say I don't have the subscription needed to access this platform. Even though I do appreciate some of the soundtracks in Nintendo games, they are behind a paywall that's too steep for me. If I can access this music for free, though it is possible, it could tempt me to purchase the games associated. Any thoughts about that?
I mean, you can
I mean-
access it for free on YouTube, but
Yeah, if you can access it for free, then it is different. No, it is different. It was a point that I completely missed, and I wish you'd have brought that up earlier in the conversation. That would have helped a little bit.
It's
Well,
suddenly my fault that you didn't do any research.
Well, no. I mean, we did mention the fact. I was saying they're taking it down off of YouTube, and it was right at the end of the 10-minute argument. You went, they're keeping it all up on YouTube.
That's because
And I
it was the
like,
point you
oh,
kept
right.
making, and so it's like, okay,
Yeah, let him do it to himself.
yeah.
Well, that's a bit
a false
snide,
point, isn't
actually.
it?
I think that's a bit snide.
well, also,
James.
whatever Sack of White Rice has said, I mean, it's completely discounted by the next part of the email anyway.
I
so.
would, yeah.
Well,
Go
these
on.
are separate points. These are separate points. So I think they did really good on that point. And now let's
Okay.
move on to the next one. As for Matt and Stadia, I too was all in on Google's gaming venture.
There you
I
go.
feel like the reason it failed was purely lack of marketing, as other companies had mentioned how they admire Google's streaming tech. I purchased a Premier Edition day one, which was a controller and Google Chromecast. Later down the line, they're offering a free Premier Edition with the purchase of Cyberpunk 2077. They did the same with Assassin's Creed Valhalla 2. In total, I ended up with 4 Premier Editions, each one still sealed in its box. Okay, after Stadia ceased, I was refunded every penny I spent, so I played Cyberpunk, Watch Dogs Legion, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and have 4 quality gaming controllers and 4 Chromecasts, all without spending a dime. No regrets here.
I mean,
Much love for what you do, Adam.
I don't know
the
if
thing
you
is,
can...
Adam, is
Go on.
all of those Chromecasts you bought that are now defunct and useless. You could have bought several years worth of Nintendo Online for that.
Why are
hang
they
on,
defunct?
hang on, no,
Like, they still work as Chromecasts.
Yeah, the Chromecast still work, and the controllers can be used as Bluetooth controllers because Google
But
did
his are
sort
still-
that out.
Yeah, James.
Well, no, but I
but-
don't think you can argue that, like...
what you should have done, Sean, is held on to that bit of information until 10 minutes time and then brought it out to make
I mean, you wouldn't have to if you'd done your own research, and then it'd been
you
would have been
didn't
fine.
do your own research about the Chrome
Well,
controller.
well, I
The
have
problem-
here
the problem with
because he
this
says
is-
here with one still sealed in its box. So he hasn't done that.
But I don't think you can argue that, like, oh, I've got absolutely no regrets about it. Like, yeah, because it all tanked and therefore ended up costing you no money. I don't think it's fair to use that as an argument about how good it is. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Okay. I mean, if it's available everywhere and this is a cool way to listen to music separately, then yeah, I see no problem with that. It's just all of the stuff that I'd seen about it was not the case. And like what my point about value and the value of music compared to like when bands make music compared to what games do. It's like Nintendo are selling $60 games that have this music in it, and bands have just got that music to sell concert tickets essentially because they're not making money from the music itself. So that's why I value that more, and you should value it more because that is that's all they've got. If a band makes a song that you love, then you need to support that financially. Whereas
That's true. That's
Yeah,
yeah, that's true
Nintendo
for a
make
band.
games that I love, and I'm happy to support them for those games.
Yeah, that's true for someone like Nintendo. But what about like indie game developers or whatever?
Well, that's
People
totally
that-
different. Totally different, in my opinion.
I would
Totally
be-
different.
I would be
When
intrigued-
indie companies sell vinyls and CDs of their music or try and make money putting them on Spotify or whatever, totally understand. Totally get it. Right? Of course. Why are you shaking your head, James?
Well, no, because you've already said that that you believe that game music doesn't have the same value because it's part of a whole rather than
Correct.
an individual standalone thing.
I don't say
so
it has no value.
No, you said
I don't
it
say
had
it
less
has no
value than the than
Yeah,
than regular
I would
music.
say that because you are buying the game. Like that is the product they want you to buy.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack is fantastic and
So why-
value in terms of emotional reaction, value in terms of admiration, value in terms of artistic skill.
But that's-
is,
no,
I'm
come
not
on,
saying
that's
I'm not
nonsense.
saying that's less. I'm saying that's just as valid, right? Like I love soundtracks. When you get it right, it's brilliant. It's a wonderful thing, and I've listened to soundtracks away from games and stuff. But when it comes to monetary value and what I put my money on, I will buy your game and I will love the music on it. But when a band puts out bands are dying at the moment. There's a
Developers
a new
are getting
artist
laid off like left, right, and centre.
of course, James, but they're selling games. Do you not see the difference?
No, because both are artistic ventures. That
Yes, 100%, 100%. But one is tied into a product that is being sold, and the other isn't. The other is the product. The music is the product for bands and artists and stuff like that.
yeah, but it's a component of the product that you're selling here. The like music from a game.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And it's really valuable within that space of selling a game.
Yeah, but it's valuable within its own right as well as a piece of art.
100%. But would you say it's as valuable as someone that's solely putting out just music?
Yeah, I don't think it makes any difference.
I think it makes a massive difference.
Whatever you're producing creatively it has value. Like that's why you're.
Yes. I'm not saying it hasn't got value.
But you're saying it has less value.
Yes, I would say it has less value than something that the sole thing they're selling and producing is that music. I would say we should cherish that more because that's all they've got to sell.
Okay, so
whereas Nintendo have got fucking consoles and games, and that's the whole purpose. Like that, yeah. I'm sticking to my point on this because I think it is very important. I think the music scene is in a really shit state at the moment, and to write that off is like...
The two things you're comparing here are not comparable. So you're talking about like bands, like you're talking about like indie bands and stuff like that, right? And so if we compare that with something like Nintendo, yeah, maybe there's a difference there. But then
which is what we were doing, yeah.
But then why don't we compare Nintendo with somebody like, say, Taylor Swift in that case? Do you see what I mean? Why are we comparing like an indie, like indie bands with like a massive corporation?
Well,
whereas
wait, hold on. When you compared, say, but she's selling the music, and that is her. Like, that is what she's in it for, just because she's more like massively successful. I think what she charges for her ticket prices, for example, is bullshit. Like, I think it's outrageous. And I'd say the same about Oasis, even though I was trying to get those tickets. Like that amount of money is outrageous, right? And I think it's wrong. Then you go into the ticket pricing and the variable prices and all that sort of stuff. But I just think, look, I'm not putting down video game music. I love video game music. I love it. And in terms of how I emotionally react to it and connect to video game music and listen to it, I'm not saying that is less valuable than a band that I love. What I'm saying is that I'm more likely to financially invest in a piece of music from a band that I love than the music from a video game, because I'm already investing in that music in a video game by buying that game and enjoying that game.
Yeah,
so that's why I would put more on the band than I would video game music.
Yeah, and I understand that, like, so with Nintendo soundtracks in particular, presumably most, if not all, of the people involved are like salaried employees, right? Not necessarily, right. But I imagine certainly the composers and stuff. But I suppose where it gets more weird is like with indie stuff, like James was saying, like those are more like, obviously they're all freelancers, right?
Totally,
and
yeah.
And I don't know, but I would be interested to hear sort of what those contracts are like, because is it just a buyout fee, or is it, do you know, like, because indie soundtracks have sort of reached that sort of prominence, that it's like, do you sign on to do the soundtrack for a game and they're like, look, we can't really pay you, but you can have the rights to the soundtrack afterwards. Do you know what I mean? I'm guessing there's a lot of movement around there. So
But also, like, Sean, what I love is that when you go out and buy those vinyls for soundtracks of indie games that you love, there's part of you doing it because it's a cool thing to have, right? But there's also to do it because you're supporting that game and the developers and you love that game.
100%.
And that, like, I get that. I do get that. But what I'm saying, my simple point with this, I think what you're confusing, James, is that when I say value, when I put value into one thing more than the other, I'm not saying emotionally or that the other thing is worth less. What I'm saying is that I put more value in supporting music that I love because that's what they're selling, rather than the game, because I'd rather just buy the game.
Putting it that way, I understand. Yeah, what you mean by that. Yeah, okay.
Cool. And also, don't shout over me because it's rude.
I wasn't laughing at you.
In a way, everyone's sort of right.
So...
I wasn't laughing at you also, I was just laughing at somebody in the comment who said, oh no, I've walked into more of this, have I?
It's all right, it's only Gary. At least they're walking into his own podcast. Fucking hell, right. I'm joking, I'm a fan.
Tiny, are you?
Yeah, I listen to all of them.
No, that's fine.
Don't listen to that. Making games is fun. You don't listen to that.
I don't listen to a lot.
You haven't listened to a single one of you?
No, I listen to Tiny Tim has messaged.
Matt's waiting for his invite. He won't listen unless he's been on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, otherwise, what's the point, mate?
If Matt goes on
Matt,
before
do you want to talk
me,
about
then
how fun
fucking-
making games is? Do you want to...
No. Playing games is not fun. Tiny Tim has messaged, Dear Sirs, as a 14-year-old footballer, I like the Call of Duty covers. Apart from the latest one, that looks like my stepdad, the mad bastard with a fishing bucket hat. I rate the rest. The covers with half a face give me hope that me with my photography skills can one day be hired for this job. The rest with the silhouette of a standing man inspired me to make cardboard cutouts of my mates and I tried to use as target practice on the pitch, but coach said it wasn't true to the spirit of football because of the guns.
I just
never-
love they're just little vignettes into Tiny Tim's life.
Yeah.
Every now and then we get to dip into Tiny Tim's life, and I
Yeah.
never regret. I don't think I've ever gone. You should have read that one. I don't think we've ever received one from Tiny Tim and not read it.
No.
Put it that way. It's good. It is good.
I mean, he started out as the 12-year-old footballer. Now he's 14. I mean, at some point, what academy are they in? What will we see them on Match of the Day? That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I mean,
Still
we
an
mention that
upcoming
every
talent.
time he messages in. This is like deja vu, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've actually finally caught on to the fact that they are actually increasing the
Engaging in
age.
real time, yeah.
Are you kidding me? You're only just realising that now.
we mentioned
Definitely
this
talks about it
before.
every
We mentioned
time.
this before. We mentioned this before as well.
That's that.
Yeah, okay. Right, the Olympic Judging Committee has messaged pole vaulting chat in episode 426. At 2 hours, 14 seconds, 45 milliseconds, Matt slips in a "you wouldn't have had that trouble," while Dave is telling the story of the pole vaulter's backup pole knocking the bar off. Care to defend yourself? Well,
Who we
Dave's
defend?
got
Is that
small
you or
willy.
me?
I've seen Dave
Yeah, I've got
defending
small
himself.
Willy.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, Ian Lee.
I like
has
the fact that we all laughed at Olympic champion who made a mistake because his willy was too big. We laughed at them. Us.
He got it wrong.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's got a big dick. And then as I'm laughing, a single tear is rolling down my face.
Ian Lee's messaged under his own name, unlike, he's probably most of these are actually Ian in various guises, but this one actually says Ian Lee.
Is he
Or at
Tiny
least-
Tim?
I hope
Tiny
not.
Tim started way before he started listening.
That's true.
Dear TCS, I have a bone to pick with you, David. In this week's episode, or last week's, you were angry that Matt wouldn't join you for a multiplayer game of Call of Duty. I did join you for an evening of online Call of Duty, only to be told 15 minutes into it, oh, I've had someone asking me to play Walkabout mini golf. I'm going to go and join them. Tosser. Care to defend yourself, David?
I don't need to because this is just a lie. For starters, it was about 45 minutes in. Secondly, I said, Ian, have you got your headset? And he went, I want my VR headset. Yeah, I don't know if it's charged. I said, don't worry about it. Just a couple of my mates playing golf. And he went, I'll go and play golf because I'm not going to be on for long anyway. That was the conversation. there. So he could give it all
I think I'm on the inside. I'm on the inside, actually.
Oh, you're trying to be his best mate now, are you?
We are best mates, basically.
Are you?
Good as.
Yeah. Were you talking to him? You were in the same room as him on Saturday, weren't you? Were you talking to him?
I did. I gave him a cuddle and everything.
Did you?
I mean, he didn't want it, admittedly. He tried to run away. But yeah.
I just didn't see you talking much. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, we talked, boy. We talked.
Did you?
Talked about you,
Didn't
actually.
see.
It's like
Did
a
you?
write-off.
All good
yeah.
things.
Nah,
Okay.
all bad. Roger has messaged, evening Dave, apologies for killing you last week with the line, your kids are only on loan, but to be honest, if it made you go and hug your kids, then it's a huge positive. At the risk of making
I
this
haven't seen
weekly...
them since.
Yeah. Forgot our names. At the risk of making this a weekly series of parenting quotes to make Dave cry, I will leave you with this one. One day you will lift your child for a hug, put them down, and you will never pick them up again. For fuck's sake, Rudgy! Okay, there's
That's
more.
awful.
There's more. Not meant to be sad, just for you lucky folks with young kids to make the most of the fabulous bits of your kids' lives, particularly before they become teenagers and hate you with a passion for about 7 years. They do grow out of it around age 20. Lots,
That's already
love
happened
and
with
lots of
Harry.
hugs from Rudgy.
That's
Harry
already
already-
happened with Harry. Yeah, I can't pick him up.
I was
He's
thinking,
almost
I'm-
as tall as I am.
I've been able to pick up my
See,
kids
I
for
read
ages.
this and I was like, right, that is unbearably sad. So what I'm going to do is just insist on trying to pick up Isaac for as long as I live. Even
Yeah.
when he's taller than me, I don't care. I'm not having it.
It's a great little challenge, isn't
I've
it?
only got. I've told
like
this story
Hercules
before.
with the cow. I'll just get really strong.
I've told this story before, but still regret that decision. You know, like I wanted to make sure that Harry never saw a giraffe until he was like 18. And then his birthday present when he was 18 was taking him to the zoo, pointing at the giraffe and going, look at that. Fucking didn't even know those things existed, did you? Look at that bastard. Kills me that I never got to do that.
I mean, that would have been quite the challenge. Like,
it'd be very
Yeah, they
impossible, right?
teach him things at school.
well, you could have had a
and
conversation saying, look, you know, I don't agree with the curriculum here, and I've got some very serious concerns about you teaching our children about giraffes. So what? About giraffes?
So he needs to leave the room.
Yeah,
when
please.
Oh,
Got a
God.
special note.
There was all sorts of. I've always felt sorry for that kid. It was like sex education. Right? Could Tim and Sally please leave the room now? Your mum says that you're not allowed to participate in this lesson. Go to the library, and everyone would just be like, "Fucking hell!" Like we weren't even like taking the piss. We were going, oh mate, I feel so bad for you. Or if we went on a school trip or whatever, not like one of the ones where you had to pay for or whatever, but there would always be one kid where it was like the mum forgot or they didn't return the sign slip or whatever. So they go to the library and you just go, mate, you don't deserve that. Like there was a line. There was always a line at the schools that I was at. We would rip into each other for the worst shit. Like, you got high-tech trainers or whatever. And I say that because I had high-tech trainers, right? and it was also, and you know that they can't help that. But for some reason, not being able to go on a school trip because your mum didn't sign the thing, you'd go, oh, fuck, man. Or turn it, the other one was when everyone was in Mufti, it was Mufti Day, and the one kid forgot and turned up in full school uniform. Didn't take the piss. We never took the piss. It was like, oh, shit. Everyone would like look at him, just go, fucking hell, really? It's like the most
I was about to say that. Like that still
life.
upsets me now. If she's like, oh yeah, like if Elodie said one of her friends like didn't pencil in for the form out or forgot to sign up to a certain thing, I was like, it makes me feel sad. That's horrible. Even if it is literally just wearing your own clothes,
Yeah, but it's not like you can't look at the parents and go, "Oh, you should have paid attention."
No.
There's
Obviously,
so much shit going on.
I was going to say it could have been
people-
anything, but it just makes me feel sad in general.
Look, I don't want to sound like I know I've just turned 40, so maybe I can say this shit. Fuck it, just turned 40. I could get away with saying this shit,
Not
right?
racist, is it?
Oh god.
Well, depends.
Oh, no.
What's your definition, Sean? No, I'm joking. Like, why is there a thing every other week now? It's Tree Day. Everyone bring in a fiver and wear brown.
Constant, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Happy Jump Day.
they
Please wear
always
yellow
want
smiley
cash.
t-shirt.
It was like, oh, I've got to take £1 in today. I'm like, I haven't got £1. I don't have pounds anymore.
No.
that is something I've noticed because we don't have all that here. Like
really?
Really?
There's not that at all. And because I remember when we were back in the UK, like that, it was a thing where it was like it was constantly they wanted money, like all the time for the for different things.
For good causes.
Yeah,
It's
I mean
not
for very clear reasons because the schools were terribly underfunded.
Well, yeah, funding.
And it's
Yeah,
like, yeah.
But James, how long have you lived in Germany now? Is it 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
3 years. That's the first positive thing I've heard you say about the place.
That's not true. There's other positive things.
Oh yeah, name one.
There's other positive things. It's I don't know.
Okay.
Kindergarten is good. Yeah,
What's that?
it's the child benefit. It's very
right,
good.
okay.
Yeah,
Is it? How much?
it's much more than the UK, and also you get the same per child as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
And you
those
could earn
switches
it.
come from.
You could get it on your fucking wage, can you?
yeah.
Jesus.
Everyone gets
bloody
it.
hell.
It's
Yeah, not
universal.
means tested.
Yeah, it's not means tested. It's everyone gets
hell.
it, and it doesn't matter how
it's-
many children you have either. It's you can.
God,
Just,
That's just why you want a third one. You're like,
yeah,
did,
you got money.
did actually consider that as
It's a new
being a plus
revenue
point.
stream.
Oh, I can't believe James. You really? Right. Okay.
What?
With this bonus show material.
That's
I
why
need to
James
talk
can
to
buy
you
all
about
these
your
things now. It makes
aspirations.
sense. It's not salary; it's actually the child benefit. It's just going right into all these things.
He's got a couple of mannequins with one of those caps with a spinny propeller on it.
Yeah.
He's putting them by the windows because it looks like he's got 8 kids. Like,
Or like the bit in Home Alone with all the cardboard cutouts. Dean, easy now, TCGS Tigers. As a proud father... Oh my god, this is giving me more upsetting stuff. Okay.
no, it's fine.
As a proud father of two, the most recent heartwarming messages you received from the two gentlemen whose kids have recently flown the nest really hit home for me. Which is why I'd like to extend an offer of support by lending you both my 5-year-old and 8-month-old so you may experience those precious moments all over again. I'm thinking Roger can have a little fuckers Monday to Thursday. Rocky Man can take over for the weekends. And don't let James anywhere near them. I know he's been talking about wanting kids again recently, but it'd be irresponsible of me to leave them alone with a doctor. Much love as always, Daddy Dynamite, Heady Dean.
What's that last bit about James mean?
Yeah, it's a bit,
I'm
unnecessary.
I'm not very happy about that.
I don't know.
I mean,
I assume that's going to lead into a cheese-related scenario, but it didn't.
No, it didn't.
it's
It
just
just
a-
makes him sound like a nonce.
Yeah.
what the hell?
What the hell? Don't have a go at me. Read the message. You
Oh,
weren't listening
I think-
properly, we are.
Let's move on.
Okay, maybe bleep that, Matt. Sorry, go on.
Maybe. Okay. Curious Colin, not a real Colin. Hello, first happy birthday to David and James. I miss sharing your birthday by one day. Thank you for all the shows. As the big 4 looms ever closer, it is becoming harder and harder to get recommendations from friends as we have less time to play. I've completed 10 amazing games this year, some old, some new, but mostly recommendations, so thank you.
Cheers, Colin.
Well, you're very welcome. Very welcome.
Ronkabet, this is about our Black Ops 6 chat from last week. I apparently said camping is intense. Is that a pun or a quip, Matt?
Oh, Matt. Did you?
I think I did say it, but the thing is, I don't think I even thought about it. That just came out. I didn't even think pun or quip, but just said it.
So you
I-
can just
I would
break
say-
because that's a brilliant one,
What
and
is
it's
that
now
one?
clear from the evidence of what we've seen tonight is that you didn't intend that as a joke. There wasn't an intention as a joke,
Just said it, just came out.
and now you half trying to claim it
Yeah,
because you did the yoke thing.
Is that pun or
didn't go
quip?
down well.
Don't know. Look, the
No,
yoke
it's
thing.
neither.
There's more. The last bit of correspondence is about the yoke thing. I thought this would be over, but we'll.
This might be the final word.
I think it should be. Josh from Wigan. Hello, guys. Long-term listener, first time giving feedback. I'm a speech and language therapist who works at the Specialist Cancer Hospital in the Northwest, supporting people with head and neck cancer / neurological cancers to communicate and swallow following surgery, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and their respective conditions. The reason I put up my credentials up front is because I believe my feedback will not go down well with at least 3 of you. As someone with training in clinical linguistics, I have to defend Matt Murray with respect to the "that's the yoke" / "that's the opening" debacle from a few weeks back. It is entirely plausible that Matt was beginning to say "and that's the opening," but due to something called assimilation, it sounded like "that's the yoke." Assimilation is when a
Phoneme.
phoneme, a speech sound, in anticipation of the next phoneme. I don't think I should do podcasts.
It's a phone-in show.
Our kids know about phonemes.
Josh, do you want to
Don't know.
reassess how Matt talks?
Phone me.
I mean,
Okay.
I know that Matt asked you to write this, but you could have just used.
Yeah, it
one-
made it a bit easier for me, yeah. Anyway, in anticipation of the next one begins to merge with said, phone me. See also handbag, which in English is articulated as handbag, or bless you, becoming bless you when said in conversation.
Oh, with a sh rather than bless
Yeah.
you.
The reason you should be asking is less what Matt sounded like he was saying, and more, do you trust his intention? And well, you're much better positioned to decide that. Thank you for all your hard work in making a podcast. My work can be quite bleak, despite our incredible patience, and having a podcast to help me decompress and cheer up following a hard day continues to be a big support and something I look forward to each week. All the best from Josh.
You're very welcome, Josh. Josh,
That's that cleared up.
Well, I mean, you are talking to a man that tried to claim that they said camping is intense
No, what I'm
as a joke. He tried to nick that today.
I don't think. Well, no. If I said it, then what, I surely can claim at least half of that.
No, you can't claim half of that, Matt.
Well,
'cause
my
you didn't mean
brain,
it.
my brain thought of it, and it came out. So I basically just
But
did
you
it on
didn't mean it
autopilot.
as a joke.
Why? Because it came out so quick, and I was like, time is of the essence. Get it out, and then kind of think about it later. So
Well,
I think half of that.
But you were so sure that you didn't say that's the yoke.
Well, because I know I didn't say that. I said that's
But,
the.
so in that instance, you knew what you were saying. But
Yes.
last week, you were trying to be so funny that you didn't know what you were saying.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it works. That's just comedy, mate.
so it's funny. I wonder
That's
if there's
comedy.
a sort of system. No, okay.
Look it up sometime. That is it for
You know what
feedback.
is mad. But
Go on.
from this, including this message, I know of at least 4 listeners who are like actual medical professionals, whether therapists or doctors, nurses, and for some reason that seems insane to me.
Well, why?
I don't know. The fact that like I couldn't tell you what most of our other listeners do for a living. Obviously,
Football players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's
yeah.
one.
We've got at least one football player.
Yeah, we got one football player. Yeah.
I don't know. I think when it comes like healthcare stuff, I'm just like, you know, I've got better stuff to do. Like video games, mate, they're fucking nonsense. Like they're just.
But then, need something to relax,
Presumably
as
you
Josh
read
says.
books. Do you know what I mean? I don't.
They're probably reading enough
Or
books,
listen to the audio books,
or that,
Oh,
yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
which is the same as reading, in my
It is
opinion.
the
Yeah, I mean, and for me. Go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS to leave your feedback.
All right. Let's get to what is it? What you've been playing time? No, it's not. It's news time.
news.
It's
Yeah, we've got
news
some
time. I
news.
scrolled down too far. How could we forget?
I mean, we
the
could skip the
wonderful
news.
world of news.
It's fine.
James would be delighted if we
Farley.
didn't.
No,
do
there's
that.
some great news coming this week, isn't
Yeah,
there?
solid news, actual news.
Yeah. So, shall I start? Yeah.
Please.
No,
No,
give
no,
it a
let's
minute.
think about
just
it.
wait. Let's just
Yeah.
sit in silence.
Let it breathe.
Want all the listeners to think about how I just called them all thick.
Not all of them.
Most of them.
Come on, James. Fucking hell.
Nintendo have confirmed backwards compatibility on Switch 2.
Yes!
And so it's going to be backwards compatible, and Nintendo Online is going to carry over to the next gen console. I mean, the quote is weird because this was the tweet that was put out by Nintendo, which just says, "This is Furukawa. At today's corporate management policy briefing, we announced that
love that intro.
Nintendo."
He's
Did
done
he
that
type this
before.
out himself?
Yeah, they've done that before, yeah.
He's done it before, and I love it.
It is brilliant, though, isn't it? At
Yeah.
today's corporate management policy briefing, we announced that Nintendo Switch software will also be playable on the successor to Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch Online will be available on the successor to Nintendo Switch as well. Further information about the successor to Nintendo Switch, including its compatibility with Nintendo Switch, will be announced at a later date. And so, but we've still got no more details at all about when we're going to see the machine or anything like that. It's yeah, that's it.
Oh, I
good,
tell you
though.
something.
Yep.
Good.
Good.
The fact that this wasn't a given.
Oh, yeah.
It
Terrifying,
seems
isn't it?
quite telling. Yeah.
Well, it's
Like, I am glad they're doing it, but my word, they should have. Yeah, it should have been confirmed a while ago, right?
I mean, and this is basically like, please continue to buy Switch games even though you think it's on the way out. 'Cause
Yeah,
it'll
that as
still
well,
work,
yeah.
It's fine.
But yeah, I know it should have been a given, but it never is with Nintendo. So now we know that's one less stress and one less thing for them to be like, when they had the
I mean, it
announcement,
had
we're like,
to,
hang
right?
on,
It had to do
did
that. They
they?
had
Is it
to
going to
do
be?
this.
But yeah,
They
of course they
to
had
do
to.
it. It's,
I mean, yeah, they
it's-
did have to because it's not like they could get away with it. Like you know, we've said the jump from the Wii U to the Switch. No one had a Wii U, so there was only there's a mere 4 million of us to get upset about it.
And also, I mean, they've got like in terms of the portable consoles, they've got a pretty good track record of backwards compatibility. Like
Yeah.
they've always done
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, the home consoles not so much, but with
I mean,
the
yeah, because you forget it's like with the DS and the 3DS, like they put an extra fucking GBA cartridge slot in the thing just so
Yeah.
you can carry on playing GBA games.
They did, but then they've also done some of the most fucked up things with backwards compatibility. And to be fair, let's be very clear on this. People overlook this. On the Switch, they resold a lot of Wii U games. Not
Yeah.
backwards compatible.
yeah, true.
No backwards compatibility. I bought Mario Kart on the Switch. I bought it again at full price on the Switch. I bought it on the Wii U, sorry. I bought it again full price on the Switch. Same with 3D World. You know, like others. There were others.
And
Because,
also, like
you know,
this came up in our Discord this week. Obviously, there were people who bought loads of virtual console stuff on the Wii U
Yeah,
Right.
and then got a Switch. It's like, well, it's on a subscription now, mate. Sorry.
yeah.
Like, no, all those games you bought, you don't have them anymore.
especially now that I mean those Wii U's, they've got pretty bad reliability records. It seems now a lot of
Oh,
them are
really?
like bricking and stuff, so you can't.
I mean,
use
you
them
could
anyway.
tell from the moment you first built it out like that.
a
I know
solid
this
piece
is
of
probably
hardware,
was-
Dave. I
It
don't know what you're
wasn't, man. You could tell. It was one. I remember getting it out of the box and it like creaking, like the plastic was like not flush and all this. And then you put the disc drive in and you thought, "Fucking hell, it's like a disc drive from my dad's Ford Fiesta in the mid to late 90s." You know, it was.
It's weird. I was watching a video the other day of like the launch of the Wii U, and I'd forgotten like just how dreadful like the load times were on that thing as well. Like
Yeah,
just
it's bad.
starting up
Yeah.
and stuff, it went on for ages. It's
It wasn't a good console. It had some fucking brilliant software on it, but
Mhm.
it was not a good console.
Like
So-
in
and-
terms of
and-
the loading times, like the fact that everything had like a little splash screen before the game even loaded up, which they planned that because they were like, look, these loading times are not going to be good, so let's make everyone do a splash screen with some cool music on it before the game even loads up. Because
Well, what about how sometimes the screen the screen on the pad would just turn on in the middle of the night to show you an advert?
Yeah.
Like those
No
moments.
way.
Yeah.
Which at the time was like a bit annoying, whereas I think if they tried that now, they'd get fucking crucified.
Oh, they get absolutely. The
How-
only reason they
that
weren't
wasn't a bug, that
crucified
was a
for it
feature.
before
Oh, no,
was
it's feature,
because,
mate. Yeah.
yeah,
it was
because
it was
no one
built.
owned the fucking thing. No one owned it, so no one fucking moaned about it. But honestly, when I did that, especially if you had it unplugged and it just churned away at the battery life because the screen was on full brightness, showing you this new game's
I
out.
thought it was only if it was in the dock with the power, like whether it's charging. Maybe
No,
not.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did it regardless. Like it just fucking turned the screen on.
It was like an
fuck
upgrade,
you.
wasn't it, on what the Wii did, where it used to like illuminate.
Yeah,
the
yeah, the
entire
blue
room.
light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah,
so.
I wanted it to glow all the time.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh wow, blue light means I've got something to download or a
See,
friend
I didn't
request, and then
because
after a while I was
lived
like,
in
this
a
is lighting up my entire room. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I had a very small bedroom, and the TV was literally at the end of the bed with the wall. So there'd be times where I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and it would just be bright blue.
Yeah.
And for a moment, I thought I'd been abducted.
Yeah. For aliens, we're here.
well,
So yeah, but good news.
Yeah.
that-
Good news.
that
I
seems
still want to
be
know
happening.
if the Joy Cons are backwards compatible. Or
they will be.
because I do need some new ones, but I just feel like a mug buying them now.
I
Yeah,
think the
no,
chances are high they will be, even if there's a new
They will,
system.
yeah.
I think it'll just like it'll work on both, but the new one will be probably a lot better, a lot more reliable, etc. But they'll find a way, I think, to make the old ones work.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll find a way of making you want to buy the new ones, but for basic,
Definitely.
stuff I reckon they'll work.
I guess we're not gonna get them revealed now, are we, this year?
Especially if the games are all backwards compatible,
Yeah,
you'd
yeah,
have to
Yeah.
imagine that they do connect to
That's
it,
true,
even
yeah,
if
they've
just
got
to
the-
play those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna get revealed this year now, are we?
No.
I think it feels too late in the year.
Probably not. Yeah.
Shame.
Probably.
I would like that nice little thing towards the end of the year, but
One,
yeah,
I think
not gonna happen.
I think one of my predictions were we would get to the end of the year without knowing the name of the new Nintendo console. So I'm looking forward.
That's a solid
to
one,
that.
yeah. I hope there's another Furukawa here. It's switched
The
to.
problem
Bye.
is, it was so long ago. I can't remember if it was one of my official predictions or one of the ones that I just had written down that I didn't do.
Yeah, or we didn't let you have it. I don't know. It feels quite a weak.
No,
one.
you would have let me had that because
Would I?
everyone. Yeah, at the time, everyone
Yeah, 'cause
thought
people
it was
thought it-
like.
Some people thought
Announced
it might
in
even come out
March.
this year. Like,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the-
Well,
Oh, right,
not even that. People saying, "Oh, it's going to be announced in March." Like at the start of
That
the
was
year,
it, yeah,
everyone
yeah.
thought this was being announced in March, and it just wasn't. And if you remember, there was all those leaks come out at the start of the year, and we went, "Oh, they're not doing it because of all the leaks." And it turns out they're not doing it because they ain't fucking ready. All right.
Okay, next story is it's another Nintendo story because they're suing a streamer who said that he could broadcast its pirated games all day. And so what this is a streamer called Jesse, is it Kagan? I think it's Mike Kagan. And he was streaming as every game guru. And he was allegedly he played like
Terrible
10.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He allegedly played 10 unreleased Nintendo games over the last 10 years. And Nintendo also says that as well as broadcasting these unreleased games, he was also showing people how to obtain pirated games, allegedly, via circumvention devices, and which obviously Nintendo are not very happy about. And so they tried to shut down via copyright notices, and he said he said to Nintendo he could do this all day because he had 1,000 burner accounts. So it's like, try and shut me down, I'm just going to keep going. But then
How old is this kid? 8?
He's got a real attitude,
What
isn't he?
is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Got a
Wait.
real attitude.
Yeah.
pretty inexcusable, isn't it? And
I mean,
I
you
will
don't
often
want to be on the side of the big corporate company, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, come on, mate. Come on.
Yeah, it's just so blatant and disrespectful, isn't it? The way he's doing it, it's ridiculous.
And then he said, so apparently, according to Nintendo, they're seeking £11,600 for each violation of the Copyright Act and 19 £100 for each contravention of their anti-circumvention and anti-trafficking provisions in the Copyright Act. And I'm not going to read the quote because it's really long and a bit kind of boring. But he hasn't responded to this. So he's being, they're obviously going to take him to court, but there's no response yet.
Man, how to fuck up your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's mad, isn't it? For what? Do you know what I mean?
For
Like,
clout,
is there
isn't
no
it, and
question?
all that. That's what this is about.
I know, again, I sound like I'm in my 40s. But
it's
but
I think
holy
what's
shit.
sad is like we know, so like those Dark Knight Diaries episodes about the Xbox 360 stuff.
Yeah, that was
So-
fantastic.
So based on that, we can assume that there's online communities there where if you're one of the first to get access to this stuff, there are places online where you can privately show off about it. But you can only assume the one person who's like, well, I'm just going to fucking stream it, is actually not that impressive to one of those, those inward-facing groups, and is actually like, oh, well, the only
Right.
way I'm going to get any attention for this is by doing it on Twitch. And there's a lot of assumptions there, but I don't know, it just seems like very strange behaviour, really, doesn't it? And the fact that he's actively going, here's how you pirate stuff. Like, obviously the other week I talked about Retro Game Core, the YouTube channel, and he got in shit with Nintendo because he was like, look, here's a device, sort of like, it's a Switch flash cart, but he's like, here's how you back up one of your Switch games that you own, and here's how you put it on the flash cart. And they went after him for that. So obviously, a guy who's like, oh no, here's how you pirate stuff, it's not going to last long.
And it's also because they're particularly sensitive about like current gen stuff as well. Like
Yes.
if you're showing
And
how
pre-release stuff as well. That's the other,
How did Twitch let him get away with it?
I think Twitch just don't moderate very well by themselves,
I
do they?
thought they
think
did. I thought they were really quick at taking this sort of stuff down. That's mad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Next story is that according to Sony, the PS5 price the PS5 Pro price has not had a negative impact on sales. I mean, they're obviously going to say that. So this was Sony
I
president.
don't know what that means. What
I
do
was
they
gonna
mean?
say,
Like, it's not reduce the amount of PlayStations being sold. Well, no, it won't.
I mean, so this is the COO and CFO, Hiroki Totoki, who said that the system was targeted at hardcore users. And he said, in terms of the pricing, many people made different comments on that, but pricing on PS5 Pro has not had a negative impact, I
That
don't
makes
think.
no fucking sense. If this released for £200 less, it would have sold more.
It's a lot more, yeah.
That is
Yeah.
bollocks. What he's saying there. There's just like if you
but
say
versus an imagined scenario, we think it's
We have sold more than one. And so it's
we're not fucking idiots. Like you could say, actually, we were expecting it. It's meeting our expectations.
like it's fallen in line with
sales.
projections or whatever.
Yeah, brilliant. Or it's projected it's further. Like we're selling more than we expected to sell, and you go, okay, well, yeah, you probably adjusted your expectations based on the fact that this is a really expensive console on that. There is no way that the price has not had some sort of impact on your projected sales.
Yeah, and there's no way you can know.
That's ridiculous. That's what ridiculous statement. And if you think anyone's going to believe that, then and they fucking will. That's what does you nutting, isn't it?
But they're also the sales of the PS5 have now passed 65 million units, and Sony are saying that things are going pretty well. They're quite happy with how things are going.
I mean, I'm sure they are. We knew it was going to sell. I mean, it came out last week, right? It came out on the 7th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
We knew it was going to sell really well, but again, the reviews and the discussions I've seen about it has been kind of like, no one seems to be saying this is a killer feature that you need and this is why you need a PS5 Pro.
No, they're saying it's good, probably not 800 quid good. And I was saying, like, I'm sure Dragon's Dogma it's only like 50. It's still only 50 frames at 4K.
I saw, yeah.
So like, hang on, I spent 800 quid and even that, it's still not in 4K 60.
Yeah, but that's always going to happen. That's always going to be the case. What worries me is that normal PS5 games are going to be 30 frames. That's my worry. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, not long until the PS6, eh, boys?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of price, I mean, the next story is potentially connected in with this because obviously we had the re-election last week of Donald Trump, and he's been talking throughout his the campaign about tariffs and about the tariffs that they were going to be sticking on products that were particularly coming from China and other places, and so people have been working out like what some of these
baseline. Go at the Chinese again, is he? It's like we've gone back 4 years, isn't it? It's fucking hell.
Yeah.
I mean, last time they imposed tariffs on China of like 50%, which is insane. And also, I mean, the tech industry got around it last time because their lobbyists like managed to carve out exemptions, for it. But if they can't do that this time, then like people have obviously been working out, like Gizmodo worked out like how much more things would cost. And they said like laptop prices could go up by 50%. The PS5 Pro would cost like $1,000 if these tariffs like exist. And I mean, this isn't great. Like if the tariffs are put on things and there's not exemptions, or the things are going to cost a lot more, and that will also impact us as well. It's not great.
Yeah, it's
How
nothing
the
we
fuck
can.
did anyone vote for him? I can't wrap my head
I was
around
going to
it.
say,
I
any
cannot wrap my
American
head around it.
listeners, I hope you're all right. Obviously, there are bigger issues. Obviously, we're looking at this from a video games point of view. There
Yeah.
are other much worse things he may or may not do over the next 4
How
years.
could they have voted for him knowing that the
Yeah.
the PS5 Pro is going to be expensive? What the fuck?
Switch 2 will be $600. How have they done this?
But I mean, the thing is, like, the tariff thing makes no sense at all. Because
I assume in Donald Trump's warped mind, it's like, well, there'll be an American company that will make a games console.
but there won't be.
No,
because
I know,
they
I
don't
know,
have the ability to do that.
No,
That's
no,
the
but
reason
that's
for
in
this.
his head. That's presumably what he's thinking, right?
Yeah.
In
We'll
his
do our
head, he
own,
wants
that's the
to
point.
inject sunlight into people and get people eating cats and dogs in Springfield. Look, just you don't need to go into his head to try and understand what he's thinking. All right,
Yeah.
it just
Is
it's-
this the return of Xbox?
No, because it doesn't make any difference.
Well, no, because
I mean,
they're
like,
still
so
manufactured overseas,
where-
aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not.
Oh. So manufacturer of it, it's not sold
The
over there.
tariffs only work if you can make that product yourself in your country, and they can't. For like for the same sort of price. This is so
Maybe he's hoping
madness.
Elon will do it.
Again. He's
Well, I can't wait
buys
to
everything
see
in
that.
from China. Anyway, that's so yeah. It's going to be. Probably
I
rubbish, but we'll
genuinely
see.
nearly said, "What's he going to call it? The Xbox?" Like without connecting it, without even connecting it
See,
for a moment.
you know what I mean? See, that's how it works, David. Sometimes it just comes out.
Yeah, but I don't claim it.
Well, net story, Jason.
Disowned it, if anything.
So there's a Mass Effect TV series in development at Amazon.
Good.
It's going to be it's the Fast and Furious 9 writer Daniel Casey is going to write it,
Oh,
and
I've never watched those films. I'm joking. I never watched those films.
but I'll tell you what, I was a bit disappointed here because this story, this is from Games Industry Short Beers. It goes on and it says that Amazon's God of War adaptation has started from scratch, and they've got like a new showrunner, which is Ronald D. Moore. And I'm just thinking, why is Ronald D. Moore not being tapped to do Mass Effects? Because he'd be absolutely perfect for that. Because he's like a sci-fi, did Deep Space Nine, Star Trek, all of that sort of stuff. It would be really good if he was running that, but he's not.
So
He's doing God of War.
Ronald D. Moore is doing God of War.
Yeah,
Who's doing Mass Effect? James
Daniel Casey.
doesn't rhyme. I was looking for a rhyme there, mate. I was looking
What
for a
rhymes
rhyme.
with effect?
Well, reject. A Star Wars reject is what you should have come back with, actually, James.
Okay. Would you watch
look,
a Mass
to
Effect
workshop
TV
it, so I
series?
think-
100% I'd watch a Mass Effect. Yeah, like, I wasn't interested in the Halo one. I'm not interested in the Witcher one. There's a lot of them that I'm not interested in. Mass
I mean,
Effect,
Witcher
absolutely.
There are a lot, aren't there, now?
Which is like
Yeah.
an adaptation of the books rather than the game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know
I mean,
that. Fair
obviously
enough. But,
so it's
good.
like
Witcher was
two
good.
things based off the same source material, but so it's not an adaptation of the game as such.
okay, fine.
But Fallout
the-
was good. Yeah, Fallout was really good.
Yeah, Fallout was good. Last of Us was good. I'm sorry, but I think the world of the universe of Mass Effect, the different races, the characters. Do I hope they tell the Shepherd story?
Well, I
Probably.
was gonna say,
actually.
That was going to be my question. I think I would prefer them to do something around that, but then I don't know what that would involve.
Yeah, I don't
Dunno.
know. I think I'd want them to sell the Shepherd story actually, because I think they could make a really interesting drama out of that, and like seeing the Reapers and all that sort of stuff. It's all there set up for some really good storytelling, and we've not had anything good from Mass Effect for a long time now. So, like the first 50 hours of Mass Effect 3 was the last time Mass Effect was good. So hopefully Amazon can do something with it. I'll watch that shit.
It might be timed alongside the game as well. I mean, It'll be
That's
a
true.
fair few number of years, I assume, for the series. Maybe they'll.
I don't know. I think
It
those
could be a
days
good
are
year
over,
for
aren't they?
both game and gaming. Oh, well, I don't mean but I mean the
Like
game
tie-ins.
seemingly still nowhere to be seen.
Mm.
You think about the next couple of years, maybe.
Yeah,
but
but when you think about in recent years, The Last of Us wasn't timed with a game, and
no, I don't mean it's the same thing in
Fallout
different
wasn't
media.
either.
But well, no, I mean, but Fallout wishes there was a game. Microsoft wishes there was a Fallout game to go alongside the hype. Yeah, interesting.
Mm.
That's the end of the news. That's that's everything.
Okay, well, it is time for what you've been playing then, and let's start with a we're the only ones that care. I'm sure we care so much that we are going to be making a spoiler cast series of it. That's right, Life is Strange is back in our lives, and this time we're going back to Max Caulfield, who is now a grown up and wandering around a college. Is it? She's in?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Is she
It's
in a
a college,
college?
Isn't she
Yeah,
a
it's
but she's
photographer in residence or something?
in residence. Yeah,
Some sort of residence. I've done episode 1. We have agreed, right, we need to talk about this a little bit. So we are doing a spoiler cast for each episode. We have agreed a few rules. We're going to do episode-specific spoiler casts. We are not allowed to continue the story. So we can't start episode 2 until we have recorded the episode 1 podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That is a rule that's been agreed, and James looks worried now.
I'm worried because Sean hasn't played it, and I want to play episode 2.
Right, but have you played episode 2? James will do it all.
No, I've not played it. I've only done episode 1.
Well, your achievements say you finished it, so
So we can loosely go into. We're obviously not going to spoil it, and there's a lot of stuff that. Imagine that if we started spoiling it and this and not
yeah,
the spoiler
straight
cast.
away.
We'll briefly touch on it. How did you find episode 1, James?
I wasn't entirely sold for the opening, but then it got better, I thought, as it went on. But I'd still... without talking about the story, it's really difficult because I probably had a different experience to you because of choices that I made in previous games. And I don't know how...
Interesting. That'd be fascinating.
Yeah,
when we get
that's that is what I'm most looking forward to talking about.
Really?
Actually. Yeah, because I really I am fascinated how it's presented to you, like because there's way more like connections between that than I was expecting. Like
there's like none for me.
really wow okay yeah I've got to it'd be really interesting to talk about that.
Did you find that, Matt? Because you had the same choice at the end of the first game.
Yes, it's so weird. Like, there's like 2 games we can't spoil to talk about this, but obviously it so heavily links in with the end of the first Life is Strange.
Yeah, but you had the same decision as me, and it doesn't come up that much, does it? There's like 1 or 2 bits where she mentions it, but nothing else.
So
Coming up
yeah,
constantly on mine.
Well, hang on, so she mentions it, but there was a choice near the beginning where you can basically define. You can is a choice. Yeah, the choice you make can define basically your of how basically the game ended, right, for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I basically chose the wrong one.
Oh, okay. Right, okay.
In classic, I was like, okay, maybe I should go back.
That's
Yeah.
mad. That's mad. That's mental.
I mean, I definitely would have gone back and done that again, Matt. That
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
make any
yeah.
sense.
I probably will. Yeah, I probably will go back. There we go. I was like, this isn't me at all.
It's hard to talk about. It's very early on. It's about 2 hours long. The first episode.
It felt long to me though.
It did feel long. Yeah, it did feel long. There was one particular portion of that episode, the bit in the bar, I thought was dreadful. Like I thought it was really, really bad, and I was really worried about it. Like I thought that whole bit was really poorly written. I didn't like the characters it was introducing. I found it really irritating, and I was like, oh no. But then the bit after that, I thought was really good and sort of drew me back in. So
I had some issues with some of the characters to begin with. As well,
Me
'cause I just
too,
thought
right?
No one
Really?
speaks like that.
Yeah, right.
It's
So
like-
obviously we're
Having this
all Life
problem,
is Strange fans, and we're all kind of accepting of the language and the kind of words they use. And I mean, before it didn't really bother me, but in playing this, I was like, oh, hang on. This is like the cringiest thing ever. Have I just like, has it been such a gap between the last major one that I've forgotten about it, or was it always this bad, or am I like,
No,
have I like
it's-
realised, or am I just so far out of that place where I'm like, I mean, by the towards the end, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of more in the swing of things, but it was a bit of whiplash when I first started playing the level, like the game. I was like, bloody hell, the writing, what they're saying is just really cringing me out, frankly.
Well,
You see, my problem with that was that, you see, the thing is, I kept on thinking back to the first game and thinking, yeah, it was like that in that. But they were kids, like, basically, in that game. Like, they were much younger. There's an excuse there for why you were talking
they were
like
kids
that.
and we were not, right? We were already in our,
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
that's
that
what I'm
was
saying.
my
But it was
argument.
still more
A
understandable.
bunch of
but-
English white guys going, kids in America don't talk like that.
But no, but then by the time, like, with this, you're just thinking, like, they were kids. What's your excuse for, like...
My favourite, there's a few bits that really annoyed me with that. Is it got something to do with, was it shards of glass? When she
Yeah,
says
maybe.
that.
Yeah, like, hey,
that
you spiky little guys. Was that
yeah,
one?
the
Like-
worst
Yeah.
bit of writing I've ever
Yeah.
heard that. But like,
Hey,
Can you
little
give us
sh-
an example? Can you give us an example?
well, yeah. So that's the example. So there's a
Okay.
bit, and I've got this. We'll talk about this on the spoiler cast.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a bit where someone drops a glass over, it smashes,
Mm-hmm.
and the barmaid goes, "Oh, can you sweep it up for me?" So you go down, you sweep it up, and she goes, "Come here, you little sharp pieces of what is it? Like
Yeah,
you sharp
you
little
little-
guys or something
Yeah, you
like that."
sharp
And I
little
was like,
guys.
Wow.
fuck are you talking
Yeah.
about? But what's really funny is that, James, I just worked out, you were talking about how much it refers back to the first game, and actually it did with mine, but because it was in my head, it was so natural, like it didn't really stick out as a reference to the first game, even though it was, because in my game she was having lots of daydreams about things that Chloe had said,
Yeah.
in those final moments of those games. And it was funny when everyone's chatting, because you're right, some of the writing's poor, but it's not as poor as it was in the first game. And there's a bit in it where it goes, she's going, "Oh, I just can't stop thinking about Chloe and blah blah blah," and then you get like a flashback of, "That's hella stupid." I was like, and then it got that, I was like, "Oh yeah, that game."
But I'm really
What
looking
was?
forward to talking about it because,
Yeah.
I don't want to say any more because it will ruin things. But yeah,
So what I'd say is episode one's very slow. I think it's setting some stuff up, which these games usually do. I think they've had better first episodes, like for example, the first episode of season 2. It reminds me just how much I love season 2. I think season 2 was the peak so far. Although there was some stuff in Before the Storm that was really good, and there has been good Life is Strange outside of season 2, but I think as a whole, season 2, like that first episode was superb, and this one less so, but it's teeing up quite a few nice things.
I think it's because, like, with season 2, the first episode in particular finishes on like a real, like, it finishes on a real, like,
It's a
point,
massive moment. Yeah.
and it kind of happens in this. There's a point where you think, I thought it was like, oh, okay, that's the end of the first episode.
Yeah, and
But
then it
it's
goes on.
not, and it goes on
Yeah.
quite a long time afterwards, and you're like, okay.
And did you think that was supposed to be like 3 years later, based on the conversations everyone
It felt
was
like
having?
it, didn't it?
And it was like, it was 2 days ago. And you're going, what? I also really didn't like, again, I'm sort of going into stuff that I didn't really want to go into on this show, but I really didn't like the fact that the first time you see Max is selecting her costume at the start of the game. And I was kind of like, aren't we supposed to be in the moment where Max walks in and it's like, there she is?
Yeah.
Instead, you press start and it flashes up with a picture of Max and you choose which clothes she wears. And that is fully in service of all the
DLC.
the DLC and the bit. It's like,
Do you know what
well,
annoyed
you've
me?
paid for this new costume, so we'll let you
Yeah.
choose it now.
What
But
annoyed me
I'm
about
like,
that?
has destroyed me seeing Max for the first time.
Yeah, just
Sucks.
basically like a character select menu in like a fighting
Yeah,
game.
it was
But
really shit.
what annoyed me is, right, so in that, this is so stupid, but you have indoor clothes and outdoor clothes, and I wanted different ones.
So did I, Matt.
But right, so you have
did I.
basically like, unless you bought outfits, you basically have 3 options. And I was like, okay, I really like option B for the indoor, but option A for outdoor. But when you select
so
it,
you
it's like, no,
can't
you're locked
choose
into A
them.
for both. It's like, give me
Oh,
one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
it's
I was
true.
like, I want a
It's
yellow
matching
hat.
outfits,
Yeah, I
but
want a
they
yellow
don't
hat for
match.
outside, but no, you have to. I mean, that's so silly, but I don't know why I didn't do that.
It is annoying.
I mean, it's you could say it is silly, but it's also, you would think, a relatively easy fix, right? It's just a
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
restriction to put on the player, but yeah.
It does some really annoying stuff actually here and there. Like I cannot believe they've made a video game about a talented photographer, which was outside of her special powers and all that. That was the main thing. And I cannot believe they let you take photos in the game. Like that's the so they always have like a bonus thing that you can go around doing. One of them is that you can take photographs. There's no adjustments to anything.
Yeah.
Like you literally just hit you could zoom in and out and then press take the photo. That's
But it's also only when it prompts you to do it, right? Like you can't just
which
Right,
is
so
understandable. I
it's not
get that.
a photo
But let
mode.
me change things. Let me change
Let me
exposure
take
and all
those
this sort of
pictures.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like
can't
the
do
F
that.
stop. I thought I wanted to put some nice bokeh effects. It's like just a standard. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Whenever that's in a video game, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I sort of adjust it, and I go, "Well, this looks dreadful now," but here we go.
But like even like narratively, it doesn't make any sense for her to have a camera that she's just like, oh no, just fucking zoom in and out and fucking. Like,
That
she
that
knows
sort of
what she's
sucks.
doing with the camera, so you should be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Look, having said all that, it's Life is Strange. I'm in Life is Strange world again, and I'm happy with that. It does this funny thing where you press the button left trigger, which you would usually press to rewind in Life is Strange, and Max goes, "Hey, I haven't been able to rewind in years," and I thought that's really cool. But the problem is, when I get stuck on something, my natural reaction is to press every button, and it doesn't just go, this player has pressed that button. I don't need to make a comment about it every time. It just lets her make a comment about it every time, and it gets really fucking annoying. I can't do that. I've not got those powers. I know you haven't got the fucking powers anymore.
What are you all playing on? I'm playing on Xbox, and performance hasn't been incredible.
Oh, really?
I'm playing on Xbox. It's not been too bad, actually.
Well, maybe it's less. What happens is every scene you go into, it's like it loads something, and then like another second, and then loads again. It's like it's like almost like the textures pop in, or the resolution changes, or
that's always been a problem with these games.
Yeah, but I found it weird. It's still happening. I think it looks nice. I mean, there's some really lovely scenes.
Do you remember Life is Strange 2? The amount of times it would change scene and someone would be standing there in a T-pose for like half a second and then and then cut back into it. Yeah, these games have always had those sort of problems.
That was a different developer, remember? This is Deck 9.
That's right. But same engine though, I think, wasn't it?
Is it?
I had a weird moment as well in my one where did you have the sound problem at all?
I had a sound problem where like it was very early on. It happened actually a little bit later where one character was incredibly muffled.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you go into that first kind of major area, and I was like, why is one really clear, one muffled? I was like, is this a dream sequence? But
no, it was just it was like a glitch, like because I had exactly the same thing where one of the characters.
It's like Max was talking under a blanket. I was like, what is this supposed to represent?
I wonder if that's how would that happen? I was going to say, was that a mistake in how it was recorded or edited? But then how would that?
No, it would just have to be a bug. I mean, it won't be how it's recorded. They would have caught that surely. But it's just I was like, because it does happen again. It happened once later, I think. I was like, okay, so this must be.
I had one where one of the characters was just like really echoey. Sounded like James towards the end of the podcast.
I wonder if it's like an environmental audio processing thing going on.
Well, because when Max meets someone else, there was a room they're in which is incredibly echoey. But
I did think maybe it was that. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
look, I don't know about you guys, but these games have always had a lot of faults to them. They've always been games where I'm like, you're not going to like it. I don't recommend it to many people because I just kind of think, what's the point? I can't be bothered to listen to you talk about how much you hate it later on. I get it, right? These aren't for everyone, and we hold them to an even lower standards than most games. But I just like a Life is Strange game. One a year. I'll do a Life is Strange game a year. They're not too long. I always love these stupid moral choice things, and I'm sure there are better examples of narrative based moral choice games out there, but there is something about this that I just love being in that world, and that soppy. That's another problem actually. What? The music in these games, they've just got rid of even trying to make it part of the world now, and they just layer music over the top throughout the whole game. Yeah, that pissed me off a bit.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was in one of the buildings, and I was just walking around. I was like, "Oh, there's like ambient music going on here," and I'm like, "I'm not sure how I feel
the
about
ambient
that."
music is going everywhere I am.
Yeah,
so it's not ambient
right,
anymore.
It's non-diegetic. Yeah,
it's really, I don't know.
I was just going to say, on the what platform are you playing it on? I was going to get this on Steam, but it's fully unsupported on Steam Deck.
Oh, really?
Which is a shame.
But Happy said it actually works Have you checked what people said
I
about
haven't
it, or is
checked,
it?
to be fair. Yeah, sometimes you look it up and it's like, well, actually, if
Actually-
you use a certain version of the...
I'll tell you what,
Well,
I'm fascinated.
well,
by the
I tell you
PS
what you
by the
can do.
Switch
Sorry,
version.
what's that?
I'm fascinated by the Switch version because this has come out on the Switch as well. Apparently,
Yeah.
it's not on the
Apparently.
eShop, but then you can buy it. Like I saw, it was on Amazon. Like you can buy it,
Yeah.
and I just can't imagine what the performance of it is like on a Switch. Like, yeah, it's just wild. I'd like
Bad.
to find that out.
Yeah, I bought it on CD keys, Sean. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
only
yeah.
£40. Yeah, so that is my pro tip for that one. But yeah, get it played, man, because I want to do the
Yeah, man. We'll do.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, there was whiplash with the
Spoiler
dialogue, but it is good to be back, and mostly I'm doing it because I enjoyed the spoiler cast so much. Although we obviously, as you said, Dave, we're going to do one episode per episode. I think the first episode might be quite short because there is a lot of like massive change,
It's not much
massive
to talk
choices.
about. No.
But
We
hey,
should say as well, for anyone listening who's like looking forward to hearing it, obviously we will do it as soon as we can, but we want to get them all recorded and then release them 1 a week.
That is what we're doing, aren't we? Yeah, so we can we release them regularly. Yeah.
Just in case because if there is a bit of a gap, it would be really shit to like leave everyone
Frustrating for
waiting.
everyone. But yeah, I don't know. Look, this game is not gonna convince people that don't like Life is Strange to go and like Life is Strange. Like this is a game made for fans of that series already. I do worry that that is a dwindling fan base, especially when you see so many people complaining about some of the directions they've taken on this already, from some of the reviews that say that they were really angry with the way it ended up, to some of the fans saying that they were really disappointed in the creative choices that they took early on. You do worry that Life is Strange has not got much legs left on it, and I think that's a really sad thing. And I also think it's a really telling thing that they went back to Max. I really do. I think
kind of wish they hadn't.
Yeah, I kind of wish they hadn't either. I think, as I said, like Life is Strange 2, I think that's their best work, or the best work of that series. And I feel that actually having a completely new story with new characters and everything would be the way to go. But this would suggest that financially it is absolutely not the right way to go. And it feels like a last roll of the dice with this series,
But then we've got Don't Nod's the other one, the Lost Records.
We have
Records, Bloom and Ray.
That's next. That's next year. That's next year, isn't it?
When's that new game coming out from the Artful Escape developer?
Oh, Beethoven and Dinosaur. Yeah,
is that this year or next year?
I think it's next year, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Okay, right. But we'll see. Still plenty to talk
As long as
about
this game gives me opportunities to make some crazy choices that I'll defend with my life, that's all I care about.
Another big release. James Farley, you've been playing it. Mario and Luigi Brothership. Look, I'd like to say I'm surprised you got this, but I knew you were going to get it because you buy everything Nintendo fucking.
That's not
kick
true.
Out.
Not true. I didn't buy that Princess Peach.
It fucking is true, and we're going to find out why soon. But
Yes.
Mario and Luigi Brothership was getting rather middling reviews, right?
Yeah, it got. I mean, the worst review was IGN's, I think, who gave it like 5 out of 10, and like some of the other reviews were like sort of like 7s and 8s, and like a couple of obviously the usual Nintendo, this is a 9 and a 10, kind of stuff. And I mean, I'm about 3 hours into it so far, and it's a fairly nice diversion, but it's one of those games where you just think if it didn't have Mario and Luigi in it, I don't think anyone would care about this like at all. Like I mean, technically, it doesn't run very well at all. It's like I think it's supposed to be like targeting 30, but it doesn't. Like it's not as bad as Echoes of Wisdom, but it doesn't feel like 30 frames like at all. And I kind of hate the style of the art as well in this. I think it looks bad. I really think it looks bad. Like they've tried to go for this kind of like cartoon style for Mario and Luigi, and I just don't think it looks very good.
No, we were saying when they initially showed it off as well. I thought that the art style looked pretty poor. It was one of those things I was really worried about, that everyone was going to go, "What? This looks amazing, David. What are you talking about?" And but actually, I think most people agree with us, James.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it also has a couple of really weird like UI decisions that are really strange. And like in the Mario and Luigi games, like in the past, it's always been that like you controlled Mario on like the A button and Luigi on the B button, and that was like often there were puzzles and stuff that were like connected to that. Where you had to like press the buttons in different orders and stuff like that to like unlock stuff or whatever. But in this, what they've done is they've done it so that the A button is always used in the menu system. So when you go into a battle, like in the past, it was always like, okay, now I'm controlling Mario, I'm using A, and I'm choosing the stuff from the menu, and then because like with the battles, they're sort of interactive, even though they're turn based. So if when you stomp on an enemy, if you press A at the right time, you do like extra damage or whatever. So that works with Mario with the A button, but then now they've done it so before, like Luigi, you press B and you do the same menu options and all that kind of stuff, and then the contextual stuff. But they've changed it so that now you do everything on the A button. So even if you're Luigi, you're still making the choices with the A button. But then when it comes to the actual like the combat, it switches to the B button. Now this may not sound like a big deal, but it kind of is because like the muscle memory is always that you're just pressing the same button as the one that you like last used to do the attack. But I've missed so many attacks because I have to consciously remember, oh, it's Luigi, I need to press the B button. And I don't know why they made this change. Like, I don't know why they didn't just use the same system as before, whereby you're always using B for Luigi and always using A for Mario. It just makes so much more sense.
That's irritating.
It's really strange and it's really irritating. But also, I mean, the puzzles in it are kind of, I mean, so far, I mean, as I said, I'm only about 3 hours in, but the puzzles are like Plucky Squire level of like difficulty. Like, they're not very interesting. It really has been sort of like pick this up and take it from one location to another. There's no challenge to it at all. And although I understand that clearly it feels like this has been made for a younger audience, but I prefer it when Nintendo does that thing where it like puts games together that are for all ages, where it's like it can be for like younger people or older people can enjoy them as well. And I don't like it so much when they target them in this way, like clearly to like younger kids. And it feels a bit like the Princess Peach Showtime game, where it's like this like recognizable characters, but like lacking like a feel that it's actually a Nintendo game. It's. I mean, I know it wasn't developed by them. It was developed by I think it's Acquire, who did like Tenchu and like some other games and stuff. And it's not bad. Like it's not a terrible game. It's just that it doesn't feel like a top tier Nintendo game at all. Like it really feels like this is like the last knockings of the Switch, and this is
we've
like...
said that for ages though. Like with this year, Mario versus Donkey Kong and the Zelda fucking game that they brought out a couple of months ago, whatever. They've moved on, and maybe we should do two, or at least they should. At least I wish they would just try something different. Like, instead of just whacking Mario's face on clearly a subpar game, try something a bit fresh and different.
But it's not them, is it? Because that's the whole thing with this. These are being developed by other companies as well. Like they're basically
but they're licensing them, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
If anything, they could have taken a wider shot in these last few months or
How do you mean?
Well, I just do something a bit more out there rather than just.
Yeah. I want to see wacky. I want to see wacky.
Yeah, they can take more
Nintendo
chances,
at the end of the
take
life
more
of
risks.
their game. Go for
but
it.
I think like core Nintendo must be just working on whatever's coming next, isn't it? And that's why they're licensing all this out to other companies.
Yeah, of course,
instead
of course. But they're licensing it out. They're not like presumably they're saying we want you to make a Mario Brothers. Like I don't think like I could be totally wrong here, but I don't think the studio are going. We want to make a Mario Luigi Brothers, RPG game.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo are going. We want you to make a Mario Brothers. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll be dictating that. I assume. I could be wrong. I just wish they
still
tried new things.
There was Star Fox Adventures, which was actually Dinosaur Planet or something. And came along and actually make the Star Fox game. I wonder how often that sort of thing still happens. I reckon not much, because I think pre-production is longer than it used to be. And I think you don't really commit to making a game unless you know exactly which fucking characters are going to be in it.
Exactly. And of course you've got these games now are based on existing Nintendo series, so they would have gone into this And I'm not suggesting you're saying otherwise, but they would have gone into this knowing what they were making from day one, you know, because that's what Nintendo wanted. But you're right, Matt. I think it feels like I wish they would treat the last 2 years of their console life cycle as if they've just saved in GTA 3. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can do whatever they want now.
Before going to bed. Yeah, let's just go nuts now for the next half an hour, and yeah, that's what I want to see.
It would be nice, but yeah, they seem to be playing it incredibly safe and putting out these things which are not they're not terrible. There's nothing particularly wrong with them, but yeah, they're just not. They're not.
I don't know.
You
I
could argue
don't
they
know.
are
It's easy
risks
to
in
say
that
that, but sorry,
they're a bit
sure.
different. Yeah, you could argue that they are risks and they're a bit different developers, etc. But they're just not interesting enough as risks. Are
No,
they? They're not.
exactly. And it's easy enough to say they're all right. They're not though, are they, James? I mean, you could say they're average and they work and stuff, but that's not what you get into a game for. Like that Zelda game was so boring. It was so boring, and yeah, you could say it was competent. It had characters in it, and you could move around.
And like as you said, that isn't what we should be seeing from Nintendo games. I don't think.
No, absolutely not. Like even at this stage, and yes, you want their A teams on the new games for the new consoles, absolutely. But maybe try new things in that last.
But also, I mean, it can work because I mean, like Metroid Dread was produced by an outside studio as well.
Brilliant.
That was amazing.
Excellent. And so
It was excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they maintain that? How do they keep that going? So, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you'd be mad to be spunking money on Nintendo needlessly at this point, anyway, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
James, anything else you've got on your list?
I mean, yeah. I mean, for my birthday, I got an Alarmo.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Your birthday, you say? Your birthday?
It was
Your
for my
birthday, is it?
birthday.
Yeah.
It was
A little treat for yourself.
I
Gift-
did not
gift from
buy
me to
this.
me.
It was bought by Chen for me as a birthday
Right,
present.
Okay.
listeners, this is bollocks.
Right,
This
okay.
is absolute bollocks.
Right, I knew that this was going to happen, and
A few things, right? James either bought it for himself and he's lying now, or he told Chen to buy it, or it'll be something like that. There's no way Chen went out of her way and just bought him an Alarmo, and he's probably going to play a clip of her saying, "Just to let you know, yeah, I bought it." We don't believe
Right,
you haven't
I've got-
forced her to say
no,
this.
no. I've got. Listen,
Okay,
you calling my
right,
wife
I'll
a
be
liar?
quiet.
I'm gonna. You can
No, I'm
listen
calling
to
you a
this.
liar, James. I'm
can
calling
listen
you
to
a
this,
liar.
She was coerced.
Here we go.
I knew that this was going to come up on the show, so I thought I'd get in here quick and speak with Chen, and she can explain what happened here. So, Chen, can you please confirm that I did not buy the Alarmo?
You did
and
not
you
buy
did as
it,
another
James.
birthday present? Can you explain this, please?
Yes, I bought it as a lovely present.
Don't say, come on, don't say it like that. It's,
Right, I bought it as a lovely present for you.
that's not helping it.
What? What else do you want me to say? Yes, I bought it.
Okay, why did you buy it?
Because it's a lovely present.
Okay.
Oh, no,
That was
because you
not
said
convincing.
when we saw the adverts on YouTube, you said one day it will worth a lot of money.
She's reading
Okay,
off the
that's
side.
why you bought it.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, and then you've got the invoice, right?
yes.
Which says
Wait.
in German,
Rewind that.
obviously,
Wait,
that you
rewind that
ordered this
bit.
from the
Rewind
Germans.
that. What was that about the advert? When you were watching the advert, you said what?
It'd be worth a lot of money
When
in the
we
future.
saw the adverts on YouTube, you said one day it will worth a lot of money.
Okay,
No, it
so
won't.
that's why you bought it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then you've got the invoice, right?
Yes.
Which says in German, obviously, that you've ordered this
Yeah.
from the German store.
And it's my name.
Yeah. So this was not. You can confirm, right? This was
Yeah,
nothing to do with me.
Yes, I can forward you the invoice. You can show it to them.
Okay, but I didn't put any pressure on you to buy this at all, right?
No, you said the value will go up.
Okay,
and
so-
I believe in it.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Okay,
James,
thank you.
James, this is what you say about things.
What?
You've just exposed yourself big time here.
What do you mean?
It's that Labo all over again.
You know that episode of Friends where they're trying to work out who came on to who, and it turns out Rachel told the story. I'm doing a rerun of Friends with Harry at the moment, sorry. And it turns out, and all the other friends go, it was you, Rachel. Yeah, you've just exposed yourself.
How?
You saying the price goes up
Yeah.
translates, I want that.
No, but that's
Yes,
not
it
what
does.
I meant.
Yes, it does, because that's when she was saying you're not buying another iPad, you're not buying another iPad, and you went, we need to because Brexit's just happened and the price is going to go up.
That was
That's
the switch.
excuse. That was the switch. That was one of the switches. Sorry, you're absolutely right. James, you've exposed yourself. That is you saying I want that. Buy me
All I
that.
said, all I said was it was a throwaway comment where I just said, like, definitely in the future that's going to be worth tons of money. Because no one's going to buy that, and it'll be worth money in the future.
Is that why you got it out of the box instantly and set it up?
Well, yeah, because you've got to play with it, haven't you? You've got to have a look
They
and
weren't
see
worth
what
any
it's
money
like.
then.
I was very
money,
careful
yes.
opening the box, though.
James,
not like you.
you've got a weird thing about Nintendo.
No,
You've got
look,
a weird
what is
thing
wrong?
about Nintendo.
Look,
you
she
have
just
to
bought
buy
me this.
everything Nintendo bring
No,
out. You
this
have
is
to.
bullshit. This is literally
not
bullshit
bullshit,
this
mate.
time because I did not buy this. This was a lovely birthday present.
You
That's all
planted
it
the
was.
seeds, though, didn't you?
Yeah, you said I
Can
need
I ask
it.
you a few things? Did you buy a Wii balance board? Be honest.
Yeah, and I lost quite a lot of weight when I did that.
Did you buy the Ring Fit ring thing?
Yeah, again for the same reason. I've got a
Right.
weight problem, David.
Did you? Right? did you?
Oh, and Dave thinks that's a little.
I'm just trying to
That's
figure-
that old,
Did you
isn't
buy Wii Music,
No, I didn't actually.
James? Did
I
you
don't
buy
think
Wii
I
Music?
did.
Don't think, which
No, I
means
don't
yes.
think I did buy that.
James, look at his face.
I don't remember, but I don't think I bought that.
You absolutely bought Wii Music. Did you buy the new 3DS and didn't tell me for a year?
We know that I bought a new 3DS. We know that happened.
Listeners,
totally
Switch,
worth it.
the amount of Switches he bought is nothing compared to the amount of 3DSs this man bought. It was
That's
insane.
ridiculous. That's not true. I only had about 4 or 5 of those.
Just for you, though.
Not
You
just
didn't
for
have to
me.
buy
It was for the
Yes,
kids
it
as
was.
well.
No, the kids weren't about.
They were.
James Farley. So you bought an Alarmo, right?
I did not buy an alarm. It was given to
Own
me
it.
as a present.
Well,
After you asked for one.
I'll tell you what,
didn't
send it
ask
back
for
then. You've got the invoice, send it back.
go on
get
it.
money.
Back.
I can't send back a present that's
You
been
can.
bought for me for my birthday.
Oh,
that's
that's
Right, okay,
outrageous.
he so fucking wanted it. Why can't you just admit you wanted it?
I'm not saying that I wanted it. I didn't want it. I mean, I'm not going to say that, am I? Because she bought it for
Can't
me as a
believe he
present.
just said he doesn't want his lovely gift.
Didn't
Yeah,
want his
exactly.
lovely
I'm not going to
gift.
say that.
You
podcast.
wanted it. You
Didn't
wanted
want
it.
I didn't want it, honestly.
Okay, but how is it, James?
what's it
Using it
like?
every day. How amazing is it?
It's all right. It's,
No, go
No,
on. Tell us
explain.
everything.
I mean, I'll tell you what I'm most disappointed about is that the Animal Crossing stuff isn't out yet on it.
It's not.
No.
Is it a future
He
update?
wanted to wake up to what's her face?
Isabel.
The one that he fancies.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Isabel.
I wanted. Fuck off.
Yeah, it is.
He did.
Good morning,
He did.
James.
Certainly get a rise out of him.
He wanted to his alarm. He wanted
This
his
is
alarm to
this
make
is
him
outrageous.
immediately ejaculate.
This is. Fuck off. This is why I don't tell you anything because it's ridiculous.
Come on, Shed. I said
character
I wanted
smear.
another baby. This could get me in the mood in the mornings.
Fucking hell.
It doesn't work very well though. That stuff, you know, the whole
What do you
like when you're moving around.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's pointless anyway because we wake up really early, so never going to use it. But yeah,
Right, but you're in bed one morning moving around a lot to
Yeah.
test it.
and
Okay.
then just to
What
try
would-
it out, yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to hear what you're doing.
It made the coin noises and stuff.
When you were okay.
Yeah. I was just saying when I sat up, it did. It did stop the alarm, so that was good.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
Alarmo, very good.
James Farley, PhD, with his apnea mask on and his Alarmo next to his face. It's just what an image. What
It's
an
true.
image.
I mean, yeah, it's.
Turning round to Chen saying, "Don't tell him that I wanted it. Don't
It's
tell
true,
him that
I
I
didn't.
wanted it."
I didn't want it, but I can't say that, can I? Because it's a gift.
Ian Lee bought me a better alarm clock than you this week. He bought me a Gunno clock because on the podcast I talked about how I was sad that I never bought myself a Gunno clock. So now I've got a Gunno clock, and when my alarm goes off, a target flips up and I get to shoot it with a laser gun. I don't want to look at it, and I don't want to imply anything here, Ian, but I bet it was cheaper than a fucking Alarmo.
Yeah, but as I said to Sean, like you're not, you're you're not being woken up by the sound of drowning Pikmin. You know, so I think I know who's winning here.
Is that a euphemism?
Okay. Okay. Oh, so the Animal Crossing DLC is out. Look,
It's not out. The Animal Crossing stuff isn't out yet, which is a
Okay.
shame. Yeah.
I can't believe.
I don't know why it's got Ring Fit on there.
What did Asher or Rachel, did they want this at all?
Well, that's the thing,
Why
I
is it in
would've-
Daddy's room?
What the problem is, right, is Asher can't have it because he's got like a bunk bed kind of situation. You know, where he's got like the desk
Oh,
underneath.
yeah, it's physically impossible.
I
to have
can't take
alarm
advantage
clocks.
of the.
Yeah, you definitely
I mean,
can't use it because of your bunk bed.
It
Sorry,
would mean
mate.
I'd have to like put up a shelf next to his bed, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, actually, it took 16 years to put up a curtain. So.
Rachel's not interested anyway, so it's fine. But
Because Rachel gets up super early anyway, right?
yeah,
Rachel thinks it's for kids.
Yeah,
too old
and
for
your
that
children
now.
would do that.
this was a nice present that I received. Right, it was a nice
You
present.
just said you don't want.
Well, I know, but I didn't.
Can I just say?
That I
James,
hate.
as an old-fashioned liberal, right? You do not love a corporation. So there are three that he'll always
off.
buy. There's the three that he'll always buy, right? Nintendo, Apple. No matter what Apple bring out, he'll fucking buy it. Third thing is Sony, because
It's not true. It's
what were
not
you looking
true.
at this week? What were you looking at this week?
I wasn't looking at anything.
What were you looking at this week, James?
I wasn't looking at
Answer the
anything.
fucking question.
I know
were you
what he's looking at this week. I know what he's looking at.
For the purposes of a joke, I was looking at the PS5 Pro, but I'm not going to buy one.
Absolute bollocks.
Just a
For
joke.
the purpose of a joke.
Just a joke.
Yeah, I got some messages from James this week about that as well.
Yes, Matt, please, come on. Share the wealth. Share the wealth, mate.
I mean, I could read the ones that you wrote as well, Matt.
Well, let me read yours first. Let me read yours.
Here we go. This is better than the app bet. Go on.
Well, I got a picture. This is Wednesday morning, 9:30, with a picture of the PlayStation 5 Pro on Amazon. And I mean, it's saying, "I'm feeling depressed, Matt. Stop me."
Trump had just won the election.
I mean, thank God you saw the image first, because out of
Oh, no,
context,
yeah,
that
I
message
know.
could be a bit.
Yeah, I was in the car. I was like, "Okay, well, James, I haven't got time for this again." Yeah,
I mean,
and
then Matt
then
said, "Oh my God, ha ha ha, do it." To be honest, I want to buy one when I get a job.
no, that was.
Yeah, but Matt has said that. Matt has said
Yeah.
that he was going to buy
And
one
we,
when he
and
gets
we
a
know
job.
Matt is like ill for new tech. So
Yes.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
I-
excusing him. I think it is ridiculous,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
He said, "I want to play GTA 5 at the best it can be."
GTA
when
6,
the,
yeah.
the GTA 6 at the best it can be. When the last Rockstar game, he skipped the cutscenes. So I don't know why.
Where are you making this shit up from?
Red Dead Redemption 2, you didn't know. Who
Oh
the chef
yeah, but not
was.
GTS. Different anyway. There's some other little chat, and then James basically ends with,
Oh no, you're missing most of this, Matt.
"Okay, okay."
Go
Well,
on,
James
fill in the
says,
gaps,
"No,
then,
I
James."
can't. Aside from not being able to afford it at the moment, it's still an insane price." I said, "It's an insane price, very little benefit, but that hasn't stopped us previously."
Then I said
then
that's
James-
true, and that was kind of the end of the conversation,
No, and there's one more message after that.
which you didn't
Go on.
reply
James
to.
saying, "I didn't respond." James says, "I'm tempted to suggest a pact. When you buy one, I'll buy one."
tempted to, but
I thought the pack was going to be, and we don't tell the others.
Nah. No, because I would have said it
Listen,
otherwise.
if
if that's
anyone
the
wants to sell me their PS5,
Sean under the table. Could I have any
your scraps,
crumbs?
boys.
Would I possibly have some crumbs? So, yeah, shame, James. I had some respect for you, but now you're a man with an Alarmo.
it was given to me as a gift. This is what's
you
annoying
requested.
about
This
this.
is a situation you engineered.
I didn't
Yeah.
engineer it. How the fuck did I engineer it? I didn't say to her, "Oh, I'd really like that. Can you get it for me for my birthday?"
No, you
Went to
use
your wife
your
and
special
it's an
code. We've been
investment in
through
our
this.
future.
We've been
gonna
through this. That's
retire
your
off
special code. Well, that'd be worth a lot in the future.
Yeah.
Won't be once you've had your grubby balls all over it, mate.
I bet it is. Yeah,
That
disgusting.
sort
now.
of
Absolute
stains
filth at the
all
moment.
over it once the.
Have you got a
Animal
protective
Crossing
cover on
DLC.
it?
Yeah, is it waterproof?
Fuck you.
What IP rating
Fuck
is it?
you. Fuck
Yeah.
you. Fuck you.
Because because of all the semen.
I got nothing else to say.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to the Animal Crossing update when it comes.
God, talk
Well,
about
what-
your
You're going to need a week
shooting
off.
game.
when
Yeah,
that-
is that coming this year? The Animal Crossing update? What's the latest?
I don't
No,
know.
I
there
know
doesn't
what
seem
is
to be
coming
anything
this year. James Farley.
That's
Right, should we
Oh,
get
this is
to Call of
horrible.
Duty?
But
and,
this
and
is
every
just
and every
horrible.
morning and every morning if you count.
This is horrible, and I.
Yeah.
Why am I?
Well,
doing
whose fault
this?
is it?
It's your life, mate. Yeah, that's
Whose fault is it? Getting
Call of
excited
Duty
over a little
Black
alarm
Ops
clock.
6. We've all still planned that, are we? I
Yeah.
don't know if I've got anything else to say about it other than I fucking love it with every inch of my body.
So I carried on with the campaign after you all
Oh,
said
interesting.
I should. Well, there's two things. You all mentioned that I should,
Mm.
and also Matt mentioned that. So I didn't realise because I knew Raven Software had been incorporated and they were like a Call of Duty support studio now. But yeah, I didn't realise that the campaign is them, and I was always a big fan of their games.
Right.
So it's Treyarch is multiplayer and zombies, and campaign is Raven. And yeah, so once you're out of those first sort of 2-3 missions, which are fine, but sort of fairly standard Black Ops stuff. Yeah, fucking hell, it picks things up, doesn't it? It's it's really, really good fun. It's just like every mission is a totally new thing, like different sort of settings and gameplay styles and stuff. I don't want to spoil it. Just to even discuss some of the particulars, some of the levels would be a huge shame if you've not.
Well, I
already
mentioned
played it.
last week that there was a level that I felt was heavily inspired by Doom.
Yes.
You've done that one?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
It's really good.
The only thing that is a shame is, so I'm on the level at the airport, the sort of bombed out airport.
Oh, it's a great one.
It is great, but it keeps crashing at the exact same point every time
Oh
I do it.
no!
Yeah, so
Oh,
I'll
shit.
have to just try restarting the level. But yeah, every time I load my save, there's like the exact same point. It just crashes back to
Oh man.
the menu, which is a huge shame. But I do, yeah, because when you know how it is when you're like, I know the solution is probably to restart the level, but I've just spent half an hour on it, so I will restart it, but I can't do it right now because that will just be too annoying. So yeah, it's like it's so fucking silly, but in like I don't know, in a sort of a B movie way, but not. I don't know. It's really hard to explain.
It's
Do you know what I
basically
mean?
kind of Mission Impossible. The game.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
dumb, knows itself, big concept
Yes.
pieces. It's fucking great. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
fun. It is a fun game to play. Whether it's whether you think it's worth. Like as I said, it's not Titanfall 2. It's not a BioShock. It's nothing to those sort of levels. But as a Call of Duty campaign, I can't remember the last time I really enjoyed a first-person shooter as much as this, in a single-player aspect. But I definitely don't remember the last time I've enjoyed a first-person shooter as much as this from a multiplayer point of view. Probably Halo Infinite, actually. I really enjoyed that as well. But this, I'm playing it most nights, and I am getting to an end of a round and going, oh, I want another one. Like, really, get me another one. I'm really fucking enjoying this game. I wasn't expecting to be I always find them fun to play for a little bit, and then I'd go, I'm getting killed every 2 seconds now. Whereas now it just feels like I can constantly have games where I'm either competing, or I still get games where I'm getting absolutely smashed. But the rounds seem to be shorter, the maps seem to be smaller. It just seems to be a lot tighter and a lot more of a quick run through, and I'll never get too frustrated if I'm getting hammered one game because it'll be over soon, and it's on to the next one quite quickly. I really love it. It's the best Call of Duty in a long, long time, and I'm glad you carried on with the single player campaign because I do think it's worth definitely checking out. I still stand by the fact that all the puzzles and all that sort of stuff is pretty shit.
Yeah, they clearly. It's such a shame because you feel like someone probably came to them with loads of really good puzzle ideas, and they just went like, nah, people aren't gonna.
Have you done the Full House one yet? Have you done the Full House one yet?
Yes. Yeah,
You
got all
did
that
the bit
stuff.
with the tape where it's like, the rocket looked at the fridge.
But yeah, just like we said last week, there's so much potential. It's a big old house. It's like, and also for you to do all that thing really soon, really quick. It's like, okay, well now like not the rest of the other the other 80% of the game, you're not even going to bother engaging with it. I would like to better if more parts of the house are opened and did crazy
they could have
things.
done more
But
with it for sure.
yeah.
But yeah, I think the main for people who haven't played it and like, well, what's he talking about? What do you mean? Like, why? How is it so weird? Like, I've been playing it while Noo's been in the room, and she's like, oh, well, like, what is this? I'm like, oh, this is a new Call of Duty, and she's like, fuck off. No, it's not. Like, she like did not believe that it was Call of Duty. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah.
I forgot how often I play Call of Duty because Joe was like, the day it launched, there was an advert on like a TV show we were watching. It was like Call of Duty out today, and she was like, "Oh, I bet you're just waiting to play that now, aren't you?" And I was like, "Shit, I do play them all the time." Like, and she knows, I guess. It's really odd. I didn't think they were like a big part of my gaming calendar, but I guess they are. It's just this one, I can genuinely say it's really good. So it makes it a little bit easier to deal with. You not played much of this, James?
No, I only got as far as
setting my alarm though.
I only got as far as
night.
getting into the when you first go to the safe house place, like the mansion place. I got that far. Haven't got any further, which is like nowhere.
Okay.
It's only about just in the second mission or whatever. But yeah, I will go back and play it because I've always enjoyed the campaigns for those.
Cool.
It's really
Cool.
good.
Okay, and that's pretty much what we've been playing this week. Let's get to questions, please.
If you want to send us a question, go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Conky Donker says regularly on the pod, a statement or question you raise will be answered by the audience in the feedback. So here's your chance. What's a question you've always wanted answered?
Oh my god, that's deep, isn't it?
Yeah, we hardly ever sort of directly ask the community things, do we?
Always wanted answered. God. I'm not the right person for this because I genuinely hate asking questions.
Where are the
Asking
nearest
questions.
What has it got to be? Hold on, right. Let me regular on the pod
Okay,
statement.
first question for the audience. How does Matt get over his fear of asking questions?
Yeah. No, I'm
What
starting
would
to
we
get better at
ask the audience? Jeez, that is a really.
I mean, okay, but the one question I always want to ask, and I'm always fascinated when people do say it, mostly new listeners, but it's like, how did you find the show? Like,
Yeah, I
that's
love that
generally
question. No, that's a really good one.
always interesting, new or old.
Who's the funniest? But everyone just
Well, that's
lies and goes, "Oh, James is." Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, he's not, is he? Come on. I know you like him. He's your favourite because he's the underdog, but that's about it. When you really analyse it,
Yeah.
it's me.
Well.
Um,
You.
Yeah, when you really, Matt. The yoke
Set up
thing.
like a
wouldn't
robust
have-
scoring system.
Probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
You would have been top two.
What's bothering
Right.
me at the moment is, so like, as you know, I don't drink, don't smoke, don't do
Just have a
anything.
pint, Sean. What's
I
wrong with
don't smoke the reefer.
Oh,
That
no,
was
he
a
does.
song,
He does.
by the way.
He does do that. He does do that.
That was a song.
Oh, that's.
Okay.
Do you want to
It is
apologise now?
offensive. Do you know that's
Yeah,
really
that-
funny because that was a huge song when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And as I was doing it, that was like an instant reaction to I don't drink, I don't smoke. That's what everyone did. And as I was saying it, I was like, that's just offensive, isn't it? And it makes it even more offensive because wasn't it Jim Davison that
God,
was a
was it?
sample of? Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Fuck,
Jesus.
sorry,
Like-
everyone.
So when
Shame. Shame.
when I've got a free evening and I sit down to play some video games, right? So I've also I'm like borderline diabetic, right? So I've cut right back on the sugar. And now obviously everyone's like, yeah, but even like sugar-free fizzy stuff still not good for you, is it?
No.
So now I'm just like, right, what's a nice thing I can have when I sit down on the fucking sofa and I've got 2 to 3 hours of games ahead of me?
Class A
What's
drugs?
left?
What, chicken?
Drugs.
A little treat?
Yeah.
See,
I mean, a
mine
little
would be
glass
coffee,
of
right?
water, Sean. You know,
Yeah,
you
and
have
an
Drink off a
apple.
glass of tap water. So yeah, but I don't like tea or coffee either. That's the other.
5K
shit.
run, yoga, mindfulness. I don't know.
Big old wank.
Bigger. Let's not bring on to James again.
Yes, but,
fucking fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
you know,
So
it's like so many people are like, oh yeah, I just gave up smoking. I feel amazing. Oh, I just gave up drinking. I feel amazing. I'm like, well, I feel like shit.
I
know
gave
you
up
don't do those
nicotine. I
things.
feel dreadful.
Oh,
I
there you
feel dreadful. I put on about 2 stone after I give up nicotine. It's awful. Makes me want to smoke again.
get back on the
What about
facts then.
that?
What are you doing?
Yeah. Killing yourself.
One day.
Phil also
That's a bit
suggested
harsh, huh?
cheese in the chat. That's not bad, but then it's a faff in it because you can't. I'm not James. I can't just eat cheese. I need to eat
Right,
cheese
okay,
on or
Sean,
with something.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be asking the audience a question here and getting an answer.
Yeah.
Every answer you've got, you've gone, no.
Not that one.
Every answer that's been given from either us or the listeners, you go, nah, not that.
No.
That's not how it works, is it?
Just need better answers. That's the problem.
Mine. Who's the sexist? I'd like to know what people think about that.
Why do you have to do that between us? That's out of order, isn't it?
So, no, I just want to know. I'm just interested who they think is the sexist.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, it'll be James again.
Yeah, it'd be James.
But not me now. Me like 3 years ago when I was thinner. Forget what I look like now. When I was
Oh,
yeah, can I go back
Is
to
that-
Joypod days, please? Or play radio days.
You would 100% win that. Jesus Christ, you
Who
were.
was it? We
Yeah,
had
you were a hunk.
A YouTube
Stunning.
comment. I'm not having a go because it made me laugh.
You're a piece of ass, James. Then.
We had a we had a YouTube comment. Someone's just like, bloody hell, don't even recognise Sean anymore. Thanks.
Wow.
I assume that
Love
was a
the
compliment.
fans.
Oh,
Love the fans.
he's really become himself, hasn't he? He's really glowed up. He's
Yeah.
All right.
James, what's your question to the fans?
I don't know.
Listens.
Brilliant.
He's got nothing.
I got nothing. No.
He's got nothing. Okay. Curious Colin, not a real Colin, returns. Says, has Matt tried the NQ64? Not a single N64 in the place, by the way. Gaming bar in Leeds City Centre. I was expecting a quietish bar with arcades and consoles. What I got was an ear-splitting club where I had to scream at my mate to ask if he wanted to play Mario Kart. So has Matt been, and if not, does he have recommendations for other such places that don't seem destined to break noise pollution laws? I appreciate this so much because I don't get on with NQ64s at all. I've been in a couple of them and I just don't find them pleasant to be in. Like,
I've never heard of them.
they're basically like people really like them. I'm not having a go. If you've been to NQ64 and really enjoyed it, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just, you go somewhere like Arcade Club and it's like it's an arcade and they're happy.
Yeah,
to
it's very different. Yeah.
NQ64 is a bar where you happen to be able to play games, right?
I like it.
No, I can't fucking hear anyone when I'm in there, and I'm just like, oh, I might as well fucking.
Yeah, but I've
might as
got
well be at
really
home
dull
on my own.
friends. I don't want to hear them. It's fine.
Yeah, glad.
I love it.
So
What
use it
sort of
back up.
music do they play in there, though? It's not video game soundtracks, is it?
No, I don't
Because
think
you
so,
know how
no.
much I hate those.
Yeah, he's anti that.
See,
So
someone in the
valueless.
chat says Guitar Hero. Yeah, Guitar Hero's fucking Arcade Club, and I can actually hear it there.
Yeah,
I
Arcade
mean-
Club's great. Arcade Club's great. It's just very different. I mean, I haven't actually been to an NQ64, but I know the venue, and it is loud just walking past. But there's another one in Leeds called Pixel Bar that people at work prefer to go to. I don't know if it's because it's quieter or the cocktails are better, but
Have
they
you
recommend
heard what
Pixel Bar instead.
what the tagline to NQ64 is?
No.
Because
I should know because I've got a beer mat. Like they
it
came
gonna annoy
in
me?
to work before it opened, and we got
well,
all,
it sounds
beer
like
mats, so I
Dave
should know.
Perry come up with it. Games Animal. It's booze, beats, and button bashing.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I mean, they've covered all bases, haven't they? That's good. That's fine.
Up and down.
But yeah, Arcade Club in Kirkstall and Pixel Bar, people seem to rave about. But I mean, like, I think that's the only ones in town. I mean, there's loads of noisy things in town. So I mean, I wouldn't if that's not your bag, then do not go to things like Roxy's where you want to do like beer pong and karaoke and all the usual kind of neon lit
I
up.
do like those sort of places. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so do
Boom
I.
Bar.
Yeah, there's one in Leeds. They're good. Yeah, good fun. Axpo,
Yeah.
etc.
NQ64. Okay, all right. Well, if you want to give us a free night out, that would be appreciated.
And I will refuse.
Would
You'll
be
have a
invited,
better
mate.
time without me there. That's
Actually, right on that same street, there's another thing. I can't remember what it's called, but there is a board gaming bar over the road from that. Something like something in
God.
Chasers.
Sorry, I'm out. Sorry.
Yeah.
James, you were never in. Don't just suddenly.
Hold
Yeah,
on, most pubs have but round here, most pubs have a big stack of board games in that people play.
Yeah, it's this place.
That's
It's
like a
called
regular thing.
It's called Chance and Counters. It's literally in that same street down the end. And yeah, that's maybe quite nice. Like intimate affair, board games, etc.
I'd love to go in there and ask for Monopoly.
I'm
Do you
sure
reckon
they
they'd be as snobby as Michael Fox was whenever I brought up Monopoly in front of him?
Buckaroo.
Monopoly is shit though.
Oh, it was you. It wasn't
Oh, yeah, it
Michael
was.
Fox.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
you
caught
that
him.
always
Got
has
him.
to say how shit it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Got
No,
it.
no,
shit, it is shit, though.
it's the thing. No one plays it properly. The auction rule. No one plays that.
Yeah, fuck
Yes.
that. Fuck
What do you mean?
the
Why?
auction.
Why fuck that? It makes the game way quicker and more interesting.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Because if you don't do the auction rule, you have that thing on Christmas Day where everyone just sort of wanders off.
Yeah.
And never actually finish a
My
game of
favourite bit.
Monopoly.
Yeah, because when they wander off, you've won.
Yeah, it's a test of endurance.
Yeah. War of attrition.
The next question
Oh,
comes from Greedy Bugger. It says you have
Oh.
24 hours to play any video game of your choosing. Any currency you earn will be converted into real money. 24 hours in one sitting. Currency you earn will be converted at a 1-to-1 rate into Great British pounds. You must start a new
easy.
save game. You cannot purchase in-game currency with real money. No infinite money glitches. You must play without exploits. Lego games don't count. What game are you playing?
Easy.
Oh, yeah. Lego, yeah.
Easy.
Go on.
New Super Mario Bros. 2.
Do you know, I was going to say that, but then I
No, you
thought...
weren't.
No, I was, literally, because I saw this and I thought that would be not a bad shout. But also, Super Mario Land 3, the Wario Land, because that was a similar
That was
conceit
all
as
about
well.
collecting coins, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the whole thing is just collecting tons of money.
Yeah, but there's got to be more coins in New Super Mario Bros. 2. Like, New Super Mario Bros. 2 is ridiculous. Like, everything is coins. They have... You know where piranha plants come out of the pipes? Remember that in the Mario games?
Oh, yeah.
Instead of that, it's just streams of coins come out of it. It's ridiculous. Either that or Mario Maker, because then I'll just, do a whole screen of coins and just collect them through that. Lovely old job.
Well, I wasn't going to go, Matt. I was going to go like something like Destiny with all like the various like currencies you get in that by like playing and shooting.
But then
and
it's all. But then if it's 1-to-1, I don't think. I
Brilliant,
don't
then-
think you get any. You don't end up with like millions of anything, do you? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, well, I guess not. No,
You know,
that's
like
her
a few
thing.
thousand credits.
Oh,
Like,
hold
you
on.
could
Yeah,
also-
wait, hold on. If we're saying currency,
Yeah.
like, are we? I'm not coming
so
out
if
of the
I-
game. I'm not coming out of 24 hours with loads of Mario coins that are worth absolutely
it's been
fuck
converted.
all
No,
in
it's
the real
been
world.
converted
Converted
into
one to
pounds,
one.
but, yeah.
Into pounds.
Phew.
Yeah. So we don't
Phew.
need
Then-
to worry about the exchange rate. It's just 1-to-1. So
Yeah.
whatever that number is, you get that in pounds.
What if you play something like
Definitely that
SimCity and you just like borrow tons of cash? For
That's true.
that, and then,
Yeah.
and just cash
Mate,
it out.
Oh, actually, no. There are definitely games on Roblox where they're basically kind of idle clickers essentially. Me and Eddie play one loads where it's like you get first level, you get these machines, and you're making like $1 a minute, and second level it's like you're making like $5 a minute, and you're making like millions and billions. Yeah, so probably some idle clicker on Roblox, and then I'll be a millionaire by the end of it.
Fable 2, you could make a shitload of money becoming a landlord. You just go around buying all the properties and then renting them out, which weirdly doesn't give you any evil points. Hey guys,
Wow.
landlords, pricks. Yeah, we all. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you just buy all the properties and then you just ambiently like the money just fucking rolls in. So you just do that.
Yeah, this is a
like
great
real
question
life,
actually.
It is a good question. But yeah, I think James is right with SimCity.
Wait,
just
wait,
take
wait.
out a load of loans and then just make sure you time it right so the loans don't fall due before the end of the 24 hours, and then you'll be all good.
I don't like pointing someone out for being stupid,
Oh, what?
especially in the chat. But we're talking Ben here, who's put Balatro, which famously you can play for fucking hours and get like $3 at the end of it. Yeah.
That would not be good.
I love that. You see that meme that was going around earlier where it's like, have $6, spend $3 on the Joker that doubles your cash, end up with $6. I love it. It's so good.
Next question is also money related. Cena says, "Dear lads, as I approach becoming 1 year older but perhaps not wiser, I was pondering a fiscosophical question. At what level of earnings would you pack up shop and just do what you enjoy, e.g. just giving up full-time work and enjoying hobbies for a living? I know you've probably answered this before, but I guess there's always the possibility of changed thoughts on this."
No, I'm still very much because right. If I was earning my wage doing this, I still would not quit to do this because I'd be worried about what happens in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like
I'll be
if
worried
this
what
was,
happens in a year's time. It's
yeah, well, this is it. Well, yeah, but you're a little bit further down the life path than I am, aren't you? Like
Yeah.
really far down that path.
Retirement.
I've still got
creeping up.
Actually, there's an end to the
feel like
path,
I've
and it's
got-
kind of
There is less ahead than there is behind now.
like if I was guaranteed that until retirement age, I'd go, yep, okay, right, I'll do that then
Yeah,
for the rest of my life. But that's not going to be the case, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving up security. That's the problem that
Yeah.
you don't think of. You're giving up security. You're giving up
Pension.
a career, pension, yeah, power.
Yeah. Get into yeah.
Lots of love.
Rip into
power.
someone.
Also,
I
I
feel like you
enjoy
have more
doing
power
different
and-
things. It's nice doing different things as well, you know? Having like different things. in your
you
life.
do wonder that, because obviously, like, I daydream about what we could do if we all just had a studio and we went and came in every
Yes.
day.
Oh,
And we all
I would love that.
The content.
But how quickly would that get old? Would we get sick of each other, or do you know what I mean?
100%. We're already sick of each other now, aren't we? Like, yeah, we would absolutely get sick of each other. But when it's just all you're doing, I think that will help. The fact that we don't have to also do a really stressful job on the. You know,
Well, yeah, it's like it's the difference of like doing this outside of work, but doing it, and maybe be less stressful just doing it as your job. I mean, yeah, I found myself all the time, just doing podcasts and streams and hanging out with your mates and trying to create funny, great content. But yeah, it's very different when that's all you've got, and that's what your life is going to depend on, and rent and families and whatnot. But
yeah.
I'll do it. If you support enough, I'll do it. So
I mean, yeah,
Support us.
because I've sort of changed my tune on this, because I was like a few years ago I was definitely where Dave is. I'm enjoying my day job less and less at the moment, which does sort of change things. But yeah, as you say, there's still that like, yeah, but at the end of my job I am like, because my job is like a set term, and I am owed redundancy at the end of it. So part of me is like, well, even if I don't stay in my current field, I should still hang on until this role definitely ends, and then get the payout, rather than just like, just leave and just do podcasting.
But
So-
there is a price. Like if I was earning more from this than I was doing at work, then there is a way. Like you do maths and go, well, how long can I keep that going for? Is that enough to cover anything?
yeah, save up.
Like I would
save
love
up,
to do
yeah.
this full time for sure, and I reckon we could do some really good stuff. So if you are a billionaire listener,
Yeah.
you could fund us.
Give us a shout.
But also, we need to live very close to each other, because it'd be
Well,
like
there is that.
the thing I want
necessarily.
more
I mean,
would be the studio thing.
Even,
That would be
even
the
if we
best.
suddenly got all the money in the world, it's like, well, I'm not going to make James move back here from Germany.
Happy to move back.
Okay. But like, none of us are going to suddenly move near to each other, are we? I don't think.
Well, I often think about like so I'm one of those people that goes right. 60 million euro millions? No. 70? No. 80? No. What, 110? Right. I'm buying a ticket, right? And that then means for a week I sit there and go, and if I get that, that's it. I give up my job and I would keep this up. I would keep this up.
Yeah.
And then I'd go, oh, fuck, we could just fund things, and go and do that would, and it doesn't matter if it's successful or not.
Yep.
It's just the thing that I love doing, that I'm doing every day. And I would
Yeah.
do streaming every day, all of that sort of
You
stuff.
imagine that? We could be like, yeah, we're doing TCGS Japan. We're all going there.
Oh,
You know,
God,
Yeah, yeah.
imagine that. And
Yeah, with
it's
a world
free.
tour.
Plenty of room.
I know.
to
You know,
fly.
I'm
It's-
sad.
It's not free. It's not free.
Yeah, you're right. Now I'm
No,
remembering
so,
that I've got to wake
you know,
up
I-
early tomorrow.
I mentioned Ellis James and John Robbins a lot. I listen to them every week. I've been going through some of their older episodes I never listened to at the time. John Robbins, turns out he has this thing where he does he just has little fantasies. So he's talking about the show. He's like, yeah, I just did this one the other night. I was trying to get to sleep and I couldn't get to sleep. So I chilled myself out by imagining that I had like nice but emotionally distant parents who suddenly died and left me with like a really nice house in London and like 3 million quid. And I just sort of imagined what I would get up to in that situation. But I couldn't do that, because eventually that ends and I'm just like, oh no. I mean, obviously I'm very happy
feel
my
worse
parents are alive,
afterwards.
to be clear. I'd rather have live parents. But do you know what I mean? I couldn't allow myself to daydream about like a fictional pleasant scenario, because then I'd just be like, oh, but that's not real. And
That's wild.
Yeah, and you feel worse. So yeah. Well,
See, I love it. I love like daydreaming like that. And then I
When-
don't get upset afterwards. I'm just like,
I cannot tell you how many years ago I last bought a lottery ticket. I mean, God knows, it must be at least 5, could be 10 years. But yeah, like half the fun was just like the thinking of what you could do with that money, and then arguably that was the best way about buying a ticket, because you so rarely won. But the pleasure I got from thinking, what would I buy? What would I do? Who can I support? Where would I go?
There's a lot of
That's the best way about buying it.
Yeah, I have thought about driving around the country to the people that I like and just turning up with a check. And there you go.
How much?
Tenner.
Good question. Right, how much do I win?
Let's say 50 million.
50.
Oh no, I know it's below your numbers because earlier you said 60 or 70.
Yeah,
no, but
110. Yeah. 50 mil. You probably get 100k.
Okay, well, I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like you would.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no,
not like
just-
you were pissed
like,
off, to be honest.
like you know,
So
if you
you're
give someone
definitely
like that,
getting less than that now because you.
No,
fucked
I
it.
would love
And
100k.
that's the other thought that I had. Like I going to my family members and going, "You're getting £100,000." If they complain about it, go, "Well, you're not getting anything then." Like, and if they don't complain about it, go, "I'm joking, you're getting £1 million." Like,
also, if you have to give, if you want to give someone 100 grand, do you actually have to give them like 200 grand to cover like tax and stuff? How's that all work?
no, it's not tax. It's you are legally allowed to transfer money from one person to the other. As long as I live 7 years, I think, then it's fine.
Oh,
You
okay.
really have
Tax-free.
researched this, David. Like you.
Hell yeah, man.
7
Hell yeah.
years.
Yeah, I have looked into this. Like, my flights of fancy don't end with me like moping. Sure, mine go right. How does this work? Like, realistically, yeah, I can just. give you
I
money.
might buy a lottery ticket on the weekend. I mean, I couldn't tell you like how often are you doing it? Is it twice a week, 5 times a week? Like how much is a ticket? It used to be like
It's
Saturdays
the
a
Euro
quid.
Millions that you want to do, and that's twice a week. Because the problem
Twice
is
a
when you
week
load
now?
up, when you load up the app, and it's £2.50.
Probably like
ticket.
17 quid a ticket in it.
No, it's £2.50. But like you load up the app and it's got the different games you can play, and it's like the normal lottery is like you can win 10 million tonight, and then underneath it's got Euro Millions. It's like 90 million. well, that one then, because I'm not gonna win either, so I might as well dream about winning 90 million over 10 million. Do you know what
Presumably
I
the
mean?
odds of having to split the jackpot with other people are massively increased as well. Is it not?
Yeah,
it
oh
must
God,
be-
yeah. Your odds are way lower.
Yeah.
I got 4 numbers and a bonus number on the Euro Millions the other week. Like got one about £7, I think.
Are
Okay.
you joking?
No,
4 in the bonus.
yeah,
Oh my god.
seven
Yeah.
quid that got me. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, or
I
scratch
assume you
card. I
don't
mean, Jesus,
still-
when's the last scratch card I bought? Again.
I assume
10
they
years.
still televise the lottery, like drawing the numbers.
No,
Nah.
Remember that?
no, Mystic Meg's
That was
officially
weird.
passed away.
You know, when
Matt,
you sort of like,
You
she
don't do a
has.
scratch card.
No.
I
Again,
do
I
one
can't-
scratch card a month. One
Do
scratch
you?
card a month. Payday, I go and buy a scratch card. And if I win, I buy the next scratch card up from it. And anything over a fiver, I pocket. But
Oh,
I build
God,
up
yeah,
to a
that's-
£5 scratch card. And last Christmas, I won like 40 quid because I just kept winning on scratch cards. It was great. I mean, it's not an amazing amount of money,
Yeah,
but it
again, I
wasn't like it
just-
didn't make Christmas that year. But it was nice to have a 40
Sometimes
quid
when
in
they
my
go to like the garage and I'm paying for my petrol, I'm like, oh yeah, scratch cards are still a thing. And I'm like, oh, hang on, they're like 9 quid or whatever, like, or 7 quid for a scratch card.
No, you can still buy them for £1.
Yeah, it's just but why would you if you're only gonna win 10 grand?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
That's the thing,
Extreme
isn't it?
Matt.
Well, I know, but
Extreme
like,
Matt
but
is it?
just like what you just said with like, why would I want to win 50 when it's 110, or why do I want 10 million
Yeah,
quid
that's
when I
fair.
want?
Well,
My,
because the price is the same, I guess. Go on.
My when Nu was, yeah, I can tell this story. I think when Nu was still working
Oh.
at Waitrose, one of the managers she worked with, they won
She killed.
10k on, was it 5 or 10k on postcode lottery?
Oh right, okay.
And she was just like, yeah, but like realistically, like what can you do with that? I was like, I can fucking name a few things. Like I know it's not like life changing money, but fucking hell.
Yeah, I
Like-
can think of about a million things right now that I
Yeah.
need to do with that.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
bills.
Get some
Bloody
blinds,
hell.
for example.
Yeah.
Subscription. With the I think one thing I did with the
Where's that going?
I don't know. I was going one direction. I thought, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, no, we don't.
I remember having a competition at work. It was like a gaming competition. Oh, if you win, you could potentially win £100,000 or whatever. And everyone was like, what is all this about? And on Monopoly money, I was like, no, you could legitimately win £100,000. And all it was the winner won a scratch card or whatever. And I thought, it's not wrong. It's what I'm saying. It's about the dream and not what you actually get.
So yeah, you sold the dream. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did actually win £100,000. I was fuming.
Wow, livid.
I was fuming.
Sorry, another tangent really. these competitions where it's like you can win this fucking massive house and 50
Oh, is it
grand.
Omaze?
Yeah.
Yes. What is that
Why,
about?
why do I immediately that just sets off my fucking scam senses, and I don't know why.
Well, it's funny because I heard this. I don't know if it's the same, so I don't know the company you've mentioned or whatever.
It's always Omaze.
But I have
yeah,
heard
bloody hell.
but this might be a different thing to what I'm about to talk about. So I want to be very clear that this might not be this company. However, apparently there's a current trend in raffling your house. So a company will come along and say your house is worth this much. We'll put it on half that will be the reserve. But, we'll sell raffle tickets for your house. You will earn way over the market. But then the risk is like, do you want to go ahead with that? That makes me feel sick. As someone that's recently sold a flat, that makes me feel physically sick.
Hang on. So what? So they sell... hang on. So how can they guarantee...
Instead of selling your house in a normal
more
way,
than the value of the house, right?
Yeah,
right. Okay.
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, because a lot of people pay like
that
10
is
quid for
horrendous,
a raffle ticket or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know
I've
if
done
it's
that,
the same thing. I think this one is probably selling a developed house or something. So
Yeah, the thing's an amazing. It's like a massive country mansion. It's like 100 grand cash, like 7 round, Range Rovers, and
I mean, I would love to know how far that cash goes in terms of maintaining the fucking place. Do you know what I mean? Probably not as far as you would think. Yeah.
That is a real come
yeah,
down.
yeah. So like I've just looked. Omaze, why are we advertising? It doesn't matter. But you can win this massive house in Devon plus 250 grand in cash. The house is worth 3.2 million. I assume it's like a ticket to win.
Though.
I assume it's basically it's a raffle, isn't it? And like they're saying like 100,000 tickets.
Oh, but
that's
this,
rubbish,
but
'cause
this
it's like-
kills me as well. This kills me when you look at how much it is. It's £25 a month for 200 entries, or £50 one-off payment for 85 entries. Come on, don't go to this. This sounds horrible.
But if you won something like that, you'd never be able to shift that house. No, like for that amount of
Yeah, you
money, like,
would.
no one's going to buy that.
No, but you shift it for a decent whack.
Maybe not, because sometimes if it's somewhere like really rural or remote or whatever, you're not going to get much for that. And then,
I mean, it's
Devon.
in the
It's
UK.
not.
but then also
Yeah,
the
it's
upkeep,
Devon.
the upkeep for that as well is going to be like pretty high.
I
Yeah, but
understand that's
council
why it
tax
comes with
quite
the
expensive.
cash, but I reckon probably a couple of years you could burn through that.
Yeah, but
quite
absolutely
easily.
fucked. Okay, I better sell my 3.2 million pound mansion because my salary cannot cover it. Bye.
Fucking hell! Welcome. This is bonus show material. What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this really
sorry.
is. This is
Sorry,
ridiculous.
we sort of,
Okay, I'm gonna cut this, and this will be the bonus show this month. Hello, welcome to bonus show.
Right, just a couple more, and this should be brief. Greg says, have you ever considered doing a worst of the year as a bonus companion piece to the Game of the Year show? You could each nominate one game and give it a proper kicking, then in a simple semi-final, and final, you then crown the worst game of the year. Yes, I have just been playing Plucky Squire.
Greg, I'm not having a go at you here, but I hate that idea. Like, I really do.
Sorry.
Like, it's so negative. I don't want to be like bad games. We will call out bad games where they are, but I never relish in like slagging off a game. So
It's
Yeah,
more
well, not
fun
the
when Matt
energy for that.
chooses them for the game of the year instead.
Actually, yeah, good point. I do relish in that, don't I? Yeah, no, fair
Because
enough.
like even
Yeah,
like
you love it.
Plucky Squire is probably the game I've had like the most negative things to say about this year, but only in that it was
not me.
only in that it was disappointing. Not like it's not a shit game. Do you know what I mean? By any means,
It's not very good. Yeah.
Definitely been worse games come out this year. It's just that we don't play them. Gollum is probably the worst game that came out this year, but none of us have played it because it was obviously shit.
Was Mario Donkey versus Donkey Kong this year on the Switch?
That wasn't a bad game. Like
It
No,
was
it's
a
not
bad game.
It was not a bad
it's not.
game.
Yeah, it was.
Save it.
It was.
Save it for what?
Save for James bringing him into his wild cards, trying to be clever.
Absolute shite. Absolute shite. Okay.
The last one comes from Colin the Cheese. Does James bother to peel the cheese string, or does he just eat it whole like an animal?
Yeah, I mean, usually I do peel it, but
You can't peel
occasionally you're just like, oh, I'm going to chew down on that.
No, you can't just chow down on it, James. That's not how it works.
I mean, you can. I mean, as I said, usually, yeah, you peel it because it is also more satisfying as well. You know, you get like all the little wispy bits that come off it.
Oh.
But occasionally, you just like, yeah, I'm going to have a go at that.
It's like I bet you eat a 2-finger Kit Kat without breaking it.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
Cretin.
It's true.
But James, you're like such a cheese fan. It's kind of mad that you would also lower yourself to a cheese string and get joy out
Well,
of it.
no. To be fair, James says that he doesn't rate cheese string, and this was a specific episode, a specific example. So,
And if it's
no, you can't have a go at him there.
But
Matt.
but you would chow down at. You would.
if it's in the fridge, I'll eat it. But
Do you know what this means, Matt? Do you get this?
In what sense?
The question.
Yes, I know what cheese string. I've had a cheese string before.
Right.
Well,
But when he's saying chow down, he's not talking about enjoying it and I'm really.
Yeah,
like
no,
this.
as in
He's
eating
talking
it
about
one without like spitting it.
Yeah,
I get it. But I just think, as a man, as a cheese connoisseur like James, you think you'd be like,
man.
yeah, are you
That is a
turning
real
your
fucking
nose,
man.
turning your nose up at something as horrendous as cheese string?
Well, as I said, if it's in the fridge, I'll eat it. But I won't be as happy about it as if I'd found, some lovely
Alarmos.
Yeah.
That's
Are you,
the end of the podcast.
Nuts.
James, are you going to put in a Christmas cheese order?
I should do that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, and you should also speak closer to the mic.
Well,
in the room, mate.
So I
In
don't
the
care
room.
anymore, so it's fine.
I've never gone to cheese, so I'd like you to give me.
Socials
Oh my
back.
god, cheese calls. Cheese calls.
Cheese calls.
Socials
I've never
back.
gone to cheese. James knows cheese. Every week I buy a new cheese and I eat the cheese on the
Can you
pod.
start? I was thinking about that because when we were talking about what's the next cool series, like I was thinking about it the other day, and I remember at one point we were saying, "Oh, Futurama calls," because James has never seen Futurama. James, that is insane. You should
I've
watch Futurama.
I've never seen it, no.
Please start it.
Is it
this
good?
week because it's really good. Yeah, it is really good. And I'm sure some of the jokes in the early series are dated now, but there are some really fucking good episodes, and there's some good sci-fi stuff in there as well as the usual stupid shit. But yeah,
How many
please-
series are there of that? Like, is that like another 15-year?
I don't think that many. 8 or 9, I think.
It's a lot on it. It's a lot to get involved in. Okay, socials.
Well, I'm not asking you to watch it, Matt. It's got nothing to do with you.
Oh, but I was gonna watch it. Okay. Socials.
Yes, please.
Yes. We stream this show live on Twitch every week. Go to twitch.tv/TCGSco to watch this podcast live and also watch our other streams. James on Friday started his new series, Farley's Fresh Cuts, where he streamed Metro Awakening on PSVR 2. It's on YouTube now. James, I haven't seen it. I will be honest with you. But was text to speech in action?
It was in action, yes.
Yeah,
Good,
it was,
excellent. Okay, good. Yeah. Good. I've seen some choice moments, but I haven't seen the whole thing. But you can watch that on YouTube. But yeah, want to watch it live? It's on Twitch. But if you've got an Amazon Prime account and what?
Can we?
We can play it.
This. Or can we just play this as an advert for your stream? Right. This is James playing it on stream. Hold on. This.
Okay, I'm gonna run down here. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh.
It stopped firing.
Oh, you dropped it, didn't you?
I did drop it, yeah, at one point.
So James, you're streaming a new game every week in this new stream series. But are you going to go back and play Metro in your own time?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was enjoying playing it. It was good.
Nice.
Dave,
Yeah,
can you
but-
play Batman's and tell me if I need to buy it?
I've just not really got much interest in it, mate.
Okay.
I mean, all the
free
views are
copy then.
very strong.
I would have given you. I genuinely would have given you the code if it was give you a code, but it didn't work
not,
like that.
yeah,
It was linked to the account. It's really annoying.
Yeah, tighten it. So you've got an Amazon account and a Twitch account, then connect your accounts. You get one free sub per month. Why not go to our channel, give us those? We really appreciate it when you do. If you miss the streams live, go to TCGS on YouTube by searching at TCGS on YouTube on the Apple website, and you'll find all the streams, all the podcasts. We're on Patreon, which is patreon.com/TCGS to support what we're doing over here. Get an exclusive monthly bonus podcast where we talk about all sorts of shit. We're doing, a gaming streams or talk servers, whatever we're doing this month. And also in December, it will be the Christmas party where all Patreon members at the video tier and above will be invited to a video call. And we'll have a lovely old time chatting and drinking and eating some snacks. I don't know. That's December, though, of course. The website is TCGS.
We never talked about what game we're supposedly playing for the Patreon thing, or what we're doing for the Patreon thing. You said you were going to tell us.
Well, I haven't played it, and I don't know if it'll work that great or anything.
We should probably
But
discuss
Matt
it stream.
was saying we absolutely have to do Pico Park. Apparently, it is tons of fun.
So Pico Park was obviously last month we played that. What was our game we played?
All you need is help.
All you need is help.
Yeah. And Pico Park I'd already seen before. It's like Pico Park 2 this is. And I haven't mentioned it on the pod, but Elodie and I played it all the time during half term. And it was really, really funny. We're like shouting, screaming, laughing. I think, you can play up to 8 players, but it'll work for us. It's only like £8 or £7 on Xbox. I think it might be £7 on all platforms. I'm not sure that's the sale price, but I reckon that'd be quite good. It requires, strategy points and communication, and we suck at both of them. So yeah, Pico Park 2 is probably going to be the thing we play this month for Patreon subscribers at the video tier. The website is tcgs.co for links to our amazing Discord community, store, podcasts. It's all on there.
That's it for this episode of the Computer Game Show. Thank you so much for living it. We will catch you next week. Some more video game chit chat as we blindly fumble towards the Game of the Year show. Goodbye, everyone.
Games.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Back off.